Well, I guess it's time. I think we are all strange, Rufus. We're all strange. We're all strange here at Order 42. Hi. Welcome. It's good to see all of you folks in here. It is good to see you. We're all confirmed strange. Oh wait, you're talking about something else. But hey, how's it going, everybody? I mean, Spencer. Look, Spencer was here first. I think I think this is Spencer's first time being first. Welcome, Spencer, and congratulations on your the first chat of the stream. Now, there are no real prizes other than, hey, I was first. So congratulations. But look, we got Ricky here. We got Rufus the Red here. We got Cosma here. Bucho's here. Look, Movie Mike is here. Jody B is here. Tears of the Kingdom. I enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom. Not quite as much as Breath of the Wild, but I did enjoy it. And look, I mean, is that what we're talking about? Are we going to talk about the Switch 2 tonight? Because I don't really have anything to show or anything probably new that you don't already know, other than I'm excited for it. And I hope that it's not $7,000. I hope it's like, it'd be nice if it was like $350. But my guess is it's probably going to be about $400. I don't know. What do you guys think? How much is the Switch 2 going to be? The Switch Folie à Deux. Is it going to be more than that? Is it going to be less than that? What do you think? What are you thinking? I think 400 is probably the sweet spot. But I don't know. But let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Favorite way to end the first day of your week where I don't feel like such a strange bird. Rufus, I mean, look, like I said, we're all strange. We're all strange here. So it's okay. It's good. Backwards compatible and powerful enough to run Red Dead 2. Try to say that. Run Red Dead. If it gets a GTA port with online, I may just start over again and play GTA Online again. Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, nobody really knows. Do we? Does anybody really know how powerful the thing's going to be? No. So I guess we just have to wait. And I wonder if they're going to do the whole thing. Like I was watching Spawn Wave, and he said that there's a pretty good chance, if they're going to announce it on Thursday, that we'll get a tweet like Wednesday night here in the US saying, hey, stay tuned for an announcement of new hardware at this time. I don't know, but it's weird how, like, we all knew it was coming. We just didn't know when. And now that it's probably pretty close, like, I'm way more excited than I thought I would be. But I don't know. I mean, look, I was excited to get my Steam Deck. So, and I enjoy my Steam Deck. Not quite lately. Not as much lately, because I've been playing Final Fantasy, the originals, Pixel remasters, I mean, I should clarify, right? Because the Pixel remaster, you say that you beat the Pixel remaster, you're like, okay, well, how much boost did you do? Yes, that's what I said. If somebody asked me that question, the answer would be yes. All the boost. Make it as easy and quick as possible, because I'm not a grinder. Well, you missed out on the whole experience. I don't care. I just wanted to experience the story and experience the feel of the games. And you know what? I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying going through them. As cheatery as it could be, I'm enjoying it. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Final Fantasy, okay? I mean, unless you guys want to, in which case we will. But anyway, do we want to see snow? I give snow. Look, there was a lot of snow. And it was interesting that on Sunday we went hiking, and because so our house faces our house faces north. So our front yard was still had snow on it. We didn't expect to see as much snow out on the trail as we did. And so it was kind of cool, and I felt like I had to get some footage. And by the way, you probably didn't notice, it's probably not a big thing, but so like I'm holding it like this, right? And then the second shot, I'm holding it down by my arm, and I'm trying to keep it just almost like upside down, right? And what's cool is it knows it's upside down, so you don't even have to flip the footage. Not that that's hard to do in, editing anyway, but yeah, I'm shooting it like that. And then I just walked, did the thing. But it's kind of cool. I do enjoy shooting with the old Osmo Pocket 3. But anyway. Yeah, Bucho, hello. I think the folks pretending to be normal are the strange ones, falling into line like chumps. I mean, look, like everybody's different. Everybody's different, right? I mean, what is normal these days? I don't even know. There's multiple genders. There's all the different races. There's all kinds of levels of, what do you call that? Hyperactivity and autism. And I mean, I think we all, the thing is we all have to be patient with everybody, and I think that's the hardest part. It's the hardest part is when you're driving and somebody cuts you off, you immediately want to get mad and angry and want to yell at and scream at them and whatever. But who knows what that person is going through? Who knows if the person was just like, oh my God, I didn't realize, just a lapse in judgment because they had their mind on something else. Or they're in a hurry trying to get to the hospital, for one of their, loved ones or something. I mean, who knows? Now, I mean, look, chances are good that they're probably just being a moron. But hey, you never know. And so, maybe we should, I try to, not be so, Yeah, the guys that used to listen to the old podcast, they know that there were many recordings of me yelling at people. Like furious, like I'm gonna, set fire to your mattress, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, it's ridiculous. That anger is ridiculous. Sometimes it's funny, it's like that, like uncontrollable rage can be really funny, but it's also like, it's not good for you, But anyway, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. It's going to be really interesting to see if they're going to be showing what the older Switch games look on the new hardware. Like, will it be? I mean, like freaking Ricky rubbing it in everybody's face is like, he's like, look, I'm running Breath of the Wild in 4K on my computer thing, and you're like, dang it, I want to see it 4K. I don't know. Is it going to be 4K? Is it going to be some? I mean, it's probably, look, let's be honest, right? It's probably going to be some, AI. What is it? DLSS? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Whatever it is that basically upsamples things to, kind of be 4K, like a fake 4K. But if it looks good and plays good, I don't give a crap what it is. But I don't know. I don't know. Front mission gun hazard in English on OG hardware running through a 4K capture card. Super duper strange. Maybe you guys are right. Hey, you never know. Is that what you think? Jody B, 350 to 400. I mean, that's what I'm thinking that. I was hoping for, lower, like on the lower end. Because really, I mean, they're not going to go down to 300. 350 would be great. But my guess is it's probably going to be 400. Because I think the OLEDs were 350, were they not? So it's probably going to be 400. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, Movie Mike. I'm guessing 400, but we might get lucky. I'm sure they want to stay less than the competition. Yeah. Yeah. And 450 is not out of the question. And the games are going to be 70, right? So, but here's the question. If they released, I don't think this is going to happen. But if they released a Mario game, a Zelda game, and a Metroid game, the Metroid game, on day one, you only have money for one. You have money to buy the system, but you only have money for one game. Which game do you get? Because that's pretty interesting. I can tell you which one I'd get, but I want to hear what you think. Because there are reasons to go. There are many reasons. But I don't know. Seriously, I thought for the longest time that they were going to come out with not necessarily a Switch Pro, but a Pro dock. So that the dock would have like an external GPU. So that when you plug the Switch in, the dock would basically boost it to 4K. I thought for sure that's what was going to happen. And it never happened. So I'm really, really hoping that this is what this is going to be. Not only is it going to be more powerful handheld, but it's going to be more powerful when you hook it to a TV because, 4K TV, But I thought for sure that was going to happen. Like, because 4K was pretty readily available when the Switch came out. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. And I mentioned it. We were talking about it on in the Discord, but for some reason, the Switch won't allow pass through of 5.1 or surround through the TV and out to a receiver. So if you hook your Switch to a TV and then do the optical out to a receiver, the 5.1 won't go. But if I hook it directly to my receiver, I get 5.1. It's weird, right? But that's the way it worked. And so I was really irritated when, well, not irritated, but it would have just been easier to hook everything to the TV and then out to the receiver because, but again, the biggest problem is that what was that, Sony TV that I had would only output 120 4K through one port. So if I wanted to play a 4K 120 game on PS5, no luck. Or fine, but if I wanted to hook up my Series X2, I'd have to switch between them to get the optimal stuff. And that's dumb. And then I ended up getting an LG where all ports are the same, but it doesn't matter because everything's going through my new receiver anyway. So, anyway. The tech is old now. That's Nintendo's game. Always has been. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be, it's not going to be that cheap. Especially since games are going to be 70. I think it's going to be, it's minimum. Bare minimum would be 350. That's my opinion. But I guess on Thursday, possibly Friday, we'll find out. Hopefully. Completely new, way stronger. Nintendo won't do that. Well, it makes sense to be backwards compatible because the Switch library is vast. Even though I don't have a whole ton of physical Switch games. Most of the games that I purchased are download. Why am I whistling? Why? Is that a new thing in 2025? I'm just going to start whistling shit? I don't know. Anyway. Nintendo tricking us all into buying a tablet again. We're excited. It's strange. It's kind of cute. Well, the thing is though, is like, man, I do love my Nintendo games. And I think that's where, a lot of the mainline games, like the big games, Elden Ring, Call of Duty, all those games, they're challenging, and there's something about them that they're just not that fun. Yeah, when you get through it, it's like, oh my God, I got through that, but there's a difference between the feeling of beating. Of course, I can't really say that because I didn't beat Elden Ring. I didn't even play Elden Ring because I knew that Elden Ring is one of those games that would just piss me off, and I'd throw my controller. Like me, like I beat Breath of the Wild, or just an example, Tears of the Kingdom. There's a different experience. It's a joyous. I don't know, man. It's different. It's just different. It's a different feel. The fun of gaming, instead of like how difficult can we make this, or how clear can we make this? How much clarity can we add? How much blood can we add? All that kind of stuff. It's like, just be fun, to be fun. But I don't know. I have them all, but I play my Switch. I know I've played my Switch more than anything else. I put however many hours into Astrobot. I beat Astrobot, but I didn't get all the whatevers, the guys. I didn't unlock all the suits and all that stuff, just because it was like, at a certain point, I'm like, this is tedious. This quit being fun. I like experiencing the level for the first time, and you're like, oh my God, look at what they did. That's awesome, And that's the kind of that kind of weird dopamine hit that I got from playing Astrobot, going through those levels for the first time. That was fun. But seeing how fast I can do, I don't know. It's different. It's a different thing. But anyway, you're not a real gamer. I guess I'm not. Let's see. How many fantasies are going to be the final one? Good question, Ricky. But the way that I'm starting to look at it is that it's the Final Fantasy for this time, or this, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer. There's what, 16? Not including the tactics games and the other offshoots and all that kind of stuff. I play my Switch more than my PS5, but I play games on my PC regularly. Jody, I would play my PC if I didn't have to worry about, I'm one of those people that if I have a PC here, and I got really bummed out when I started to get left behind, when it comes to like, oh, well, you need a minimum of 3070. And I'm like, I got a 1080 Ti, and so I just kind of stopped. It's like, why put money into something where I'm not really getting into it? So, I get what you're saying though. That's one of the, I almost said that it's one of the purest ways to play, but I don't know about that. I don't know how to answer that, or how to, I don't know. I really enjoyed my PC gaming back in the day though. Playing Diablo and StarCraft and all that stuff, man, loved it. But now it's like, I just kind of want to sit back and chill and not get angry. There you go. I saw the opera scene from 6 the other day, and it's voiced. I'm playing 6 currently on OG hardware, and I'm regretting not playing it on Switch. I paid $100 for the Asian import of the Pixel remaster. Whoa. Yeah, I bought it digitally. Because I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I love physical media, but for games, it almost doesn't make sense. Especially for newer games. Older games, they are what they are, and that they are what they're going to be. But for newer games, and I mean anything in the current generation, or since 2016, 2017, you have to download an update, anyway, because parts of the game are broken, most of the time. And so The disc version of the game is basically the beta version, and then you have to download the release version, day one patches, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, but here's the thing. If you have a physical copy of the game, 20 years pass, servers have been shut down. You have the hardware and you have the software. You plug it in, you're going to be able to play it? I don't know. To me, it's like, I don't know. It's a weird situation where they found themselves, where it's almost like the games aren't finished until actual release date. In which case, why buy the disc at all? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I'm just a guy saying words. I only play my Switch for Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and Mario Odyssey. Okay. Only got to 12 here today. Bring on spring. I think he got up to in the mid 50s here, but it was really cold this, the last week. We had the snow, we had all the stuff. It kind of sucked because it was like, as soon as I don't leave the house very much, but when I do, well, I'll say this, for some reason, when it snows and I can't leave, then I'm suddenly like, oh, I want to go somewhere. I want to go to blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I just want to go somewhere. So I didn't actually leave the house until Saturday. The snow came in Wednesday night, I think. So yeah, we didn't leave until Saturday. I was ready to get out of the house. But yeah, bring on spring. Square thought they were going out of business, so they tried one last hurrah and it went well, so they were all called Final Fantasy. Shozama, welcome. And hey, if you want to fall asleep during the show, I forbid it. Because you never know what you're going to miss. You're like, yeah, I do. I've watched this show before. But Shozama, rest well. I hope you're enjoying the show. I struggle with my patience, something I need to work on. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. The road rage and all that stuff. Okay, that same idea is how I play games most of the time, and I get really frustrated, especially when it's something where I hate it when a game does this. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. You say, okay, you get to this new area. Zelda games do this a lot sometimes. But they're like, they teach you a new way of doing things. And you're like, I don't like doing that. But then when you get to the boss of that area, the only way to defeat it is to do that really crappy thing that you don't want to do. This new technique or what, you know what I mean? And I hate that. Or it's using a technique that you've already learned a better way. In 99% of the cases, it's a better way to do it. But in order to beat this one thing, you got to do this. You got to do it a specific way. I don't like being told what to do. So yeah, that's irritating. But yeah, I lose my patience a lot with games. Like if I start, I can feel it, and if I can feel that rage building up because of I'm dying too much or whatever, I'll just be like, okay, done. I'm done for a while. I need to cool off because I can feel the rage building. And that's not fun for anybody, including the guy that's, supposedly, let's relax and play a game. Doesn't mean I have time for NPCs. I'm not sure what you're probably talking about something that I said 15 minutes ago. I don't even know. Breath of the Wild will never be 4K native on Nintendo stuff. Sure? Are you sure? I mean, you're probably right, but you never know. You never know. And Ace, welcome. Hey yo to you. Welcome. Visions of Mana on Switch 2, Final Fantasy 7 remakes, Final Fantasy 16. I'm all in on the Switch 2. Yeah, me too. Yep. I mean, look, it's weird. The ports, it feels like the ports and the remakes have kept this whole generation alive. If we didn't have that, we would barely have any new AAA games. I mean, there's really not a whole lot of AAA games that are coming out that are must play I mean, there are some. I'm not saying they're not. But I think without the remakes and the ports, this would have probably been a pretty blah generation. Don't you think? It's weird, right? If you really sit and think about it, you think about all the games you've played, how many of them were brand new games and not part of a remaster or whatever? It's kind of interesting. So, GameCube launched with Metroid Prime, Mario Sunshine, and Luigi's Mansion, and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. Wow, that's a pretty killer lineup. Pretty killer. I would love to see Metroid be part of the just because I think Metroid is kind of like Nintendo's. I feel like it's part of the big three. You got Mario, you got Zelda, Metroid. To me, those are like their big three. And Metroid, it seems to always get the short end of the stick. So I would like to see it be a release title, a launch title. But yeah, I don't know. Might work with games, but not video because of piracy reasons. I can't use Hulu if I'm using my capture card. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things. In fact, when I hooked up I had this idea that I would get clips from movies to do reviews. Like if I was going to do let's see, I'm going to do a movie review of Dune 2. Okay. Now, not that I would, but now I could get the disc, rip a couple of scenes, and then cut them up and put them in my review. Yeah. You can't capture from that either. So I think everything it basically sends, like if it gets back hey, this is a capture card, then it goes, nope, I'm not sending any video. So you can stick it. So I don't know. I wish I knew. There's probably a way around it that I just haven't looked into hard enough. But there have been times when I kind of wish I could rip something off of like Disney Plus or HBO Max or, any of them, Prime or whatever. And I noticed that through a browser, it won't do it. I wonder if there's probably some sort of plugin that will block that. I don't know. Look, I'm not trying to do it to pirate. I'm trying to do it just so I can, do a video and have good quality video that I can use in my review. I just don't know how to do it. I haven't done it. I have a huge physical Switch collection. Switch and Evercade are the last of cartridge collecting. Yeah, I can see that. The Evercade stuff, I never got into it, but I think just the idea is really cool. But I have a feeling of satisfaction when beating Elden Ring every time. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not saying that you don't get that feeling. But I feel like on a Nintendo just the style of gaming is different on Nintendo than it is on other platforms. It's just different. And maybe it's because it's too simple, and that's really what Nintendo tries to do, is they try to make it where anybody can play it. And maybe I'm just a simpleton. That's probably what it is. I'm an older guy now. Just crazy I don't really feel it most days. But I'm an older guy now. There's no reason to complicate things too much. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. People complain about Millennia killing them 100 times, and it only took me like 6 times to kill her. I had more problems with one called Malekith. I think I know what you're talking about, because I did watch a playthrough of Elden Ring. See, that's what's weird. Even though I don't want to play it, I still would like to see it. So I'll watch a Let's Play. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I was going to watch a Let's Play. But YouTube was, or I should say Square, was claiming all the videos with the score. So, because the score is playing while you're running around the world or whatever. You may not be saying anything. You're just looking at stuff, hunting for things or whatever. And so, yeah, they'll claim it or strike it or whatever they do. And so I still haven't watched. I was just going to watch Rebirth. I can't, because I want to see the whole thing. So now I'm going to have to play it. Even though, Like a lot of people said, that Rebirth. Wait, I'm sorry. Which is the second one? Probably in Rebirth. Rebirth is the second one, right? Pretty sure it is. Whatever the second one is. I played the first one. I liked it. And was like, man, I can't believe how much I like this. And then 2 is different in ways that I don't care for. And it's like a lot of people were like, okay, finally, I can finally do this thing that I wanted to do in the second part. And I'm like, well, I kind of wish it was more like the first one. But who knows? I haven't played it, so who knows? Bring on all the cold. Just don't get angry when playing then, Rob. I'm sorry. Pixel, Phoenix, what's going on? Switch 2 talk over already? No, we're still talking gaming. We're still talking gaming. Lost patience. Oh, Ninjinsu, welcome. KP Senti, welcome. Good to see you guys. Just lost patience with Hell Let Loose, World War II game. Kept getting sniped in my own base. Nice green shirt. Oh, you like that green shirt? It's a Choco Taco shirt. Twitch streamer. He streams, well, he used to stream PUBG a lot, which is when I bought this. Actually, this is in the movie, Adventures of Game Chasing. His shirt's in the movie. At the end, when I'm standing next to Dave, and we do our little dance, I'm wearing this shirt. There you go. Take that. Tom Ace. Oh, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm still very upset I never got a sequel, remake, port of games I like from Wii U to Switch. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely games that are missing. Like, I still would have liked to have seen Wind Waker. I still would have liked to have seen Twilight Princess. Because Wind Waker is one that I never finished. I don't know where I stopped. Because I had a GameCube. But then I just stopped playing it. I would have liked to have played the whole thing. And then Twilight Princess, I never played. So, it would have been cool. Probably this Switch, right? Of course they're going to do it. All the new Western games blow. All right. One of the games I own on Switch is a port. There you go. Yeah, ports and remasters, man. And I want to play that new the Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest is another series that I want to play through. Not the whole thing. I don't know if I need to do the whole thing, but I played and beat Dragon Warrior 1 back in the day. Loved it. I loved that game. I so enjoyed it. And then just quit playing. Quit playing RPGs. It's weird. But I beat that game back in the day. And I remember I was playing with one of my friends. We would hand off, right? And when we got to that dragon at the end, we were like, I remember my heart was racing and he was like, oh my God. And then I'm like, okay, let me try. Oh, and it was just like, it was so frantic. And then when we beat it, we were just like, yeah, I mean, it was that was amazing. So yeah, to be able to, kind of recapture some of that would be awesome. The balance board. I think I actually have a Ring Fit and I never really used it. My wife did for a while and then she quit. I think it's because she was like, it's too much trouble to strap the thing to my leg. And I'm like, look, if you can't strap a thing to your leg, I mean, I don't know. And I think we had the balance board too, but I don't think it was used very much. You can technically capture HDCP protected signals with other devices. Okay. I'm sure there's probably a very simple way to do it. I don't know. I have two capture. Yeah, I have two capture cards. One's a Mac only, and one is what is that? AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2. That thing has been a workhorse, man. That thing, I've been streaming with that since 2017. And it's still rocking. Why do I have the other one? Oh, because my camera. Forgot. Camera into capture card into the thing. And then I have my switch box going into my capture card. So basically anything that I plug into my switch box, because I was streaming games for a while and then I quit streaming games, so I don't really technically need a secondary capture card. But there you go. Let's see. Elden Ring is a beautiful game for sure, so watching it is nice. Yeah. I mean, it was cool. It's a nice shirt. Oh my god, I own a copy of that movie on DVD and I ordered a Blu-ray. Yeah, I mean, I'm standing there next to Dave. I'm in the movie how many times? 1, 2, my leg at one point. I'm the TIE Fighter guy. TIE Fighter and the Millennium Falcon guy with the Stormtrooper helmet. So technically that's 3. Again, my shoe kicks the Nintendo on the ground when it's on the ground, and there's Billy looks down and then it cuts to people running by it. Yeah. That's one of me. And then I'm the voice of the voice of the troll goblin guys. What else? Is that it? I think that's it. So technically like 5 roles. And then a lot of the sounds. I did some of the sound work, the sound design stuff. So there you go. Green and yellow is my favorite color combo. I like this shirt and I think it looks, there's certain shirts that just don't look good with your complexion, you know? Like me, red, it's not great. Red is like a real red, not like a burgundy or something like that. That's fine. But like a real red, like fire engine red, looks terrible with my complexion. But green and yellow looks pretty good. But I also, I've lost a lot of weight since I bought this shirt. So it looks really, I look like if I stood up, you'd be like, wow, you look kind of big. Yeah, well, that's the way it is. Pokemon Yellow, yes. Wind Waker is 4K on my PC. Look at me, I know, Ricky. I know you can do those things. I don't have a PC. Now, I could probably do it on my Mac, though. I could probably put Breath of the Wild and everything on my Mac. I'd probably run it. Maybe. I don't know. Indiana Jones is great. I still need to play through that. Like I said, I got not irritated, but just kind of like, okay, I'm done for a while. And just haven't gone back to it. I need to finish that game. Play through and finish that game. Yes. Game Boy Pokemon games for Nintendo Switch Online. I don't think that'll happen. Because what they'll probably do is at a certain point, they'll release them as standalone games that you have to pay for. Doesn't make sense to lump them in with Nintendo Switch Online. It's too much of a moneymaker. Right? I mean, doesn't that make sense? Indiana is great, and I hate Force first person. There you go. I've been replaying them all on my Steam Deck. The FPS on Indiana Jones, Ricky? Is that what you're talking about? That the FPS isn't good? Really? Okay. Movie Mike, thank you. The movie is a good. Really hope to see the next one. What I've heard sounds promising. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. You want to know the scoop on the next movie? I'll give you a little bit. Tiny bit. I might have said some of this before, but hey, why not? So the, what do you call it? The tentative title is Chuckleheads. It's basically Jay and I work in a video store in 20 now, and a vicious, horrific, violent, and overall stinky real estate guy is trying to purchase it so that he can tear it down and build something else. So Jay and I take it upon ourselves to try to save the store by any means necessary. And by any means necessary, I mean by any means necessary. So, hijinks ensue. People try to stop us. We do things that are nuts. Crazy things happen, and yay. So, I wrote the first draft of this story. In fact, I wrote 6 or 7 drafts. And then what I've done, at least at this point, I handed that script over to Billy, and Billy is making some directorial changes and, adding here and maybe taking away here. Says, we probably don't need this part and all that stuff. He's working on it. And of course, with his fatherly duties and, all the things that he's doing, it's taken a back seat because there's other things that need to be done, basically. So yeah, it's hopefully it'll be good. Now, there will be some familiar faces in the story, in the movie. There will be a whole lot of new people. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what we can do with it, and hopefully we can get financing for it so that we can make it the way that I think we need to make it. Billy wants to direct, and originally he was not kind of into it. He was kind of like, maybe. And he was basically like, why don't you direct it? You know what you want. And I'm like, yeah, but that's a whole nother thing that I've never done before. But, over time, as the story grew and we added more things to it and all that stuff, he started to really see the scope of it. And especially after that first draft, he got really excited. And because he wasn't at Blockbuster as long as Jay or I, so he doesn't have that super love for the working at a video store like we do. So it's kind of cool to see him turn around and be more excited about doing it. I mean, when I finished this, I'll tell you this, when I finished that first draft, it was an amazing feeling because I've never really finished anything like that before. I've started a lot of things and never finished them. So to get to that point where I'm like, oh my God, I'm done. I'm at the end. Credits are rolling. I'm done. Holy crap. And then going back and adding to it. And then over time, we found there were a lot of things in that first draft that, while interesting, there's a better way to do it. And so we've changed that script. I mean, so much that if you read the script now, knowing what that first draft was, you'd be like, wow, that's like you're kind of like two friends work at a video store. Somebody's trying to take it from them. They try to save it. That's basically all that's in common, because a lot of things were just, a lot of things have changed. And it's really cool that some of the dynamics have changed between different characters. I think in a weird way, I think Jay's part has actually grown. Because it was really, my whole thing was I needed it to be about we want to have funny stuff, right? That's what we want. We want to do funny, gross, comedic stuff, right? Some fun stuff. But there has to be heart there. And I had to find that. And that was that was the hardest part, was what is going to propel me to finish this thing. Because there have been many ideas that we've come up with that I'm like, oh man, that'd be really, really cool. And then when it comes down to, okay, who would write that? And I'm like, I don't want to write it because I don't really care. It's like, sure, I'll help you make it. I'll help you make the movie, but I don't want to write that. I don't have any passion for that story. This, I actually found that passion. And so I hope it comes across, and I hope that eventually when we make it, people will get the same, maybe not the same feeling as Adventures, but more of a, you know, they have, they learn something, and they maybe help inspire them a little bit. Maybe. Who knows? Matt Walls, scuffed and struggling. Hello, good to see you. Good to see you. Now we need to just put that in the memory banks. And yeah. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So basically it's probably the most important thing that you might be, oh, is this a direct sequel? It's not a direct sequel. It's in the same family or in the same universe, but it's not really directly related to Adventures. So if you're thinking, oh, what happens after, at spoiler alert for Adventures in Game Chasing if you haven't seen it. But at the end, they're all sitting there on the couch playing Nintendo, right? What happens when the Nintendo turns off? I don't know. That's not up to me, and I don't even know if there is going to be a sequel, a direct sequel. There might be offshoots, but this is more like in the same vein as like Clerks to Mallrats, where there's some returning characters, but it's not a direct thing. So, anyway, where are we here? Green, yellow is great. I also love red, white. Yeah, see, I can't pull off red and white. Can't. I have one red shirt. And Pixel Phoenix, you know which red shirt that is. Oh, you know. It's my Family Corner shirt. And that's really a darker red with gold. That works on me. But Breath of the Wild didn't run too great on my Mac Mini M2, but that M4 is nice. I want one. See, here's the thing. If you say it doesn't run well on an M2, I have the i9. So I have the pre-Apple Silicon iMac. The last one they made. I mean, not literally the last one, but the last model they made before they started switching over to Apple Silicon. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work, but here's the thing. This scores higher graphically. This will score higher on than an M2 will. This one will. Which is part of the reason why I haven't gone ahead to get one of the new M4 Mac Minis, because it's still graphically it's kept up. This is a pretty powerful iMac here. I was really lucky. My dad bought it for me. So, really lucky. Or just a good son, you know? Let's see. Rob, Billy, and Jay saw my Blu-ray. It's one of my most prized possessions. The Game Chasers saved my life and are the only reason I felt confident being myself while streaming. No way I could be fake. That's awesome, Rufus. That's great. That's great. I really appreciate that. Hold on. Mine is not signed. But yeah, this is the Blu-ray. Of course, because I worked on it. I got, and part of my thing was I was going to help with the special features, but then I think Billy just was like, I got it. But yeah, I got there's the movie disc, and then there's the bonus disc if you were part of the Kickstarter, which I was. So I guess technically, I mean, I actually paid for this. So there you go. But yeah, if you were part of the Kickstarter, that's what you get. But here's the thing. There's still a ton. There's a ton of stuff on the Blu-ray. A ton. So I would highly recommend, if you have watched the movie on Tubi or whatever, I would highly recommend getting the Blu-ray if you enjoyed it, because the documentary that Billy put together is fantastic. It's really, really good. And it shows you the process and where all the struggles were. And it's awesome. I was so, I mean, not to get like all, sobby or anything like that, but I was so proud. Like Billy, I mean, I've known Billy since he was 16, So I was really proud of him that he pulled it off. That documentary is just fantastic, you know? But there you go. First person view, I meant, not FPS. Oh. Crazy things and hijinks. So this is a documentary. I mean, there is some realism to it, but the weird thing was, and this was one of the problems when I was writing it. It's because it's like, oh no, Jay was like, no, it's you and me running this video store. That's what it has to be. And I'm like, okay, so I'm okay, so I'm gonna be in it. My problem was I kept thinking about my own personal experience when honestly, my personal experience with Blockbuster wasn't that goofy and movie like. You know, it was very normal and things happened and I dealt with them. So basically, I had to create a version of myself, just like Billy had to create a version of himself for Adventures. And it was hard to break out of that and go, okay, this is not me. This is not how I would react in this situation. I would react completely different to this situation. But for the story and for the character, this is what needs to happen. That's hard to do. It's hard to get out of your own existence, you know, and write a version of yourself that's different. But that's what I had to do. And it was cool. It was really cool. Once I got going, I mean, there for a while, I was just completely stuck. And there's the whole, what do you call it? The imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough to do this. What am I doing? But then, like I said, at the end of it, Billy and Jay were both like, this is awesome. This is a really, really good start. And one of the things that really made me feel good about it is it's one of my biggest problems with a lot of movies is that you create these characters, right? He said, I'm impressed at how many of your characters actually had an arc, you know? And it's like, it's hard to, to me, what makes a really interesting movie is that when multiple characters have an arc, it all kind of happens at the same time. And that's what I apparently was able to do in that first draft. And he was really impressed with it. And it was like, okay, so all that planning and all that stuff, it really, really, that's cool. So kind of like Superbad and Pineapple Express, those movies take place in the same city. I mean, you could say that, but I don't know if we've possibly, Jody B. This might be it's like an alternate, it's a weird alternate universe because there are things that happen that don't directly link, but they're reminiscent of what came before. Because here's the thing. Let's say we get the money to do this, right? And we make this movie, and for some reason, we're able to put it in film festivals, right? There's going to be a ton of people that see that movie that never saw Adventures. So the hardest part is going, hey, you fans, the people that watched Adventures in Game Chasing, we see you and this is for you. But also not feel like there's a hand up going, this isn't for you. This is only the people that knew Adventures in Game Chasing. You know what I mean? That's hard to do. And so that's kind of how we tried to write it. And Billy we made that decision pretty early on where it was like, don't worry about connecting to Adventures. Don't worry about it. Write the story. And if the story dictates that, cool. But don't change your story to try to fit in with Adventures. So I like green and yellow shirts, but when it comes to blocks, make mine orange. Orange block. Orange block. Yeah. You should sell stuff to the blind kid in the movie. I miss working at Blockbuster for sure. Ricky, you worked at Blockbuster too? I didn't realize that. The Good Son. I just ordered an iPhone 16 Max Pro. I didn't check, but does it come with the new A17 processor? It's the A18, apparently, according to Ricky. So there you go. Now, yeah, and that's the thing, man. The new processors are great. And I kind of want a new iPhone just to get a better camera. But now I have this. So it's kind of like, do I need a new camera? Because I have this now, but this isn't as convenient as just having, I have my phone with me as well. So it would be nice to be able to get either or, you know what I mean? But sounds like a challenge, making a film that is accessible to new viewers while acknowledging the loyalty of other older fans. Yeah, and that's what every sequel does. They try to do. I mean, how many times have you watched a movie and they're recapping stuff and you're like, why are you recapping? You know, let's just move on. But there's going to be some people that's their intro to this story or this world or whatever. So it's, with this one, there's definitely some nods, right? But there's, like, even Jay, his character is slightly different. But there's definitely some characters and some things that are going to be like, and there might be some returning actors in different roles. So that's a thing. There's a role that I wrote, a character that I wrote, that I'm pretty sure this guy's going to do it. And if you know, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. It's just a matter of timing and all that kind of stuff, you know, when we're able to shoot. But I am so excited to see this guy play this character. I mean, and it was so much fun to write because I was trying to write like this person, but also give them room to play. Because that's the cooler part too, is that there are whole sections of the movie where really anything can happen. So on the day, as long as we have time, we can just play for a bit and try things and see what the funniest thing is, you know? And I think that's where movies like Pineapple Express and Superbad and all those movies where there's a lot of improv going on. There's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff going on. That's the kind of stuff that I want for this movie. But I know this is probably not going to happen, especially because I'm not Ridley Scott and Billy's not Ridley Scott and we don't have the budget of a Ridley Scott movie. But I would love to have multiple cameras, man. Multiple cameras. I want multiple cameras so bad because what I want is everybody to be able to try things no matter who's on the camera. Like who's on screen right now. I want to be able to try things. And I want to be able to make things better on the day. Because the weird thing is, to give you an example, you might do on a specific day, you might be doing 5-6 pages a day. A lot less on the bigger budget because everything has to be perfect and you know what I mean? But like when you're moving, like we were doing 6 pages, 7, 8 pages. It depends on the day, but we were doing lots of pages. Okay. What I would like to do is bump that down, have the time and the ability to say, let's only do 4 pages today. So what happens is when you get there in the morning, right? You're ready to shoot. Everybody's getting ready to shoot, right? Everybody's getting ready. You're going through the pages of the day. What you do as an actor, and this is I was kind of putting myself in with the guys that were going to be on screen that day because I was helping, a script supervisor, right? So I was running lines with them and I would play parts that people weren't there yet or whatever. And we would run the lines. And when you run that same scene over and over and over again, what starts to happen is you start to see avenues that you can go down. It's like, wait a minute. As long as we can keep it, the point of this scene is from character A to do this, and then character B does this. And as long as you stay in those guidelines, there's a lot of room to get there, right? You can zigzag a lot as long as at the end of the scene, you're at the point where this point gets to this point because there's another scene. The next scene builds off of that point, right? So as long as you can, however we get there, as long as we get there, we can do whatever we want, that's the beautiful thing about making movies, is that every day is a new creative challenge. And it's like, okay, here's the point of this scene. How are we going to do it the best way we can? What's the best way to do this? What's the best way to shoot it? What's the best way to light it? What's the best, you know what I mean? So that's the coolest part from, I didn't even work on the behind the camera stuff. I was all working with the actors most of the time. And that's kind of a bummer because I wanted to be behind the camera and learn, okay, what camera lens do you use in this type of shot? I didn't get to do any of that. I didn't get to hang out with Peter at all. Peter was our cinematographer. Didn't get to hang out with him at all because he was making those decisions. Billy would say, okay, this is going to be a wide shot and it's going to be this and this, and it's going to be this dark and it's going to be this, whatever. And then Peter would make the judgment call, based on those parameters. I wasn't in those discussions. But I would have liked to have been, just so I can learn. I want to learn as much as I can. But anyway, on the day, we would play and figure out, okay, we're going to rewrite this line, scratch that out, and we're going to say this. And then what would happen is sometimes they'd be like, what's the line? And I'm like, I don't have any the changes. All I have is the old script. And they'd be like, oh crap. And they got to get it out of their pocket. Oh, that's what we changed it to. Okay. You know what I mean? But it was so much fun because it was so creative. Anyway, hopefully we get to do that. There's a lot of room for play in this script, and it could be really fun. Really fun. You were there for a couple of years? Well, Ricky, I don't remember everything, okay? I missed the employee discount at Best Buy when they carried movies. I definitely miss getting 5 rentals a week. I'd be watching so many movies. I mean, I basically watch 5-6 movies a week. It'd be nice to get a bunch of movies, If you're eligible for a phone upgrade, then why not? Well, because now it's January. I could wait 8 months and get the iPhone 17. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait. What's up, Robin Chat? Not Gary. Welcome. Good to see you, sir. We were just talking about adventures in game chasing and the next movie, tentatively called Chuckleheads. So, yeah. I know the daily rental cost for a single camera is insane. Multiple cameras is a huge cost. I know. But here's the thing. Now, depending on who is available, because that's really what it comes down to. Actors, even the crew. Are these people going to be available? Because here's the thing. The cinematographer we used, Peter, he's got the same camera that Billy has. And also, Renee did most of the behind the scenes footage. So if you watched a lot of the documentary, a lot of that footage was his. But he also was our director of photography during the basement scene. So the scene when they're under, in the basement. Renee did all of that. Okay? So that's all Renee. Here's the thing. They all have the same camera and they're awesome. They're Blackmagic cameras. Full awesome. The only thing that we would have to rent would be lenses. Now, lenses are expensive. But in theory, we could have multiple cameras. The problem is syncing up all of that stuff. It's, here's what I don't get. This is what I don't understand. Would you have to have multiple script supervisors? Because script supervisors they don't just supervise the script. They're also looking for continuity errors. Right? It's going to be hard. It's hard enough to find continuity errors on the day on a screen this big that's just sitting in front of you. Oh, okay, he's got that in his left hand. Okay. Got to make sure that he keeps that in his left hand for all the takes, right? That's tough. If you have multiple cameras going on and multiple vantage points, you're getting twice the footage at the same rate, right? That's twice as many things that could mess up, basically. If you have 3 cameras, that's 3 times as many things that could mess up. So, wow, you know? Wow. But if you have 2 people talking, right? Imagine this is the back of somebody's head. But the camera's on me. It's my shot, right? This person, no matter what this person does, if you only have one camera, you'll never see what this person actually does. This person could be doing something amazing that they've never done before. And the only person that gets to see it is the actor. But if you have another camera on from this vantage point, looking at that actor at the same time that inspiration strikes, both of these actors can be playing off of each other and building off of each other at the same time, and you get it all. You get all of that. Does that make sense? Because that's how movies are shot, right? A lot of times when you have coverage, you got the person that's on camera, the focus, and then you've got the person that they're talking to, who is dirty, out of focus, on one side of the screen. And then what happens is when it's time, when I've got all my coverage done, they switch it around, and now, just for an example, this is the back of what my head was. Now the other person is talking, and the camera switches back and forth, right? So that means the lighting has to change every time. But there are ways to light that will get both vantage points. You have both cameras set up. You catch both angles all at the same time. You get twice as many footage and twice as many takes because you only have to set it up once. But that's hard to do. That's more advanced. That's what Ridley does. Ridley shoots in action scenes. I don't know if anybody saw Gladiator 2. But the fight scene between Pedro Pascal and Paul Mescal. So Pedro Pascal, Paul Mescal, right? They're fighting in the arena. They shot it with like 13 cameras, and they did like 3 takes. They got everything. They got everything because they had all these different vantage points. I mean, look, I know that I might be speaking over a lot of people's heads right now, but man, if you could do multiple camera angles at the same time, it could be really, really cool, because that means we have twice as much time to try something and more time to get it right. That's if we have people that know how to light 2 people at one time and 2 people that can run the camera, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot to think about, but man, I want to do it. But here's what's funny. On the last, I posted it in the Discord, and it was one of those director roundtables that Hollywood Reporter or Variety or whoever it was does, and they sit down and they talk to all these different directors that have made big movies this year, big popular movies or big award winning movies this year. And you have Ridley and Denis Villeneuve sitting next to each other. Ridley's talking about, yeah, I use all these different freaking cameras, and Denis like shaking his head. All of Dune Part 2 and Dune Part 1, one camera. So it's also a weird mindset, because you want to be able to get all the things that you want to get, and it's easier to keep track of it if you only have to watch one. But Ridley does it all. But here's the thing. A lot of people say that Ridley's, especially since he started using multiple cameras, they're not as emotional. They're not as, there's not, the oomph isn't there. And I can see that. I have to, as much of a big, I'm a huge freaking fanboy of Ridley Scott, but I have to recognize that as well. that it's hard to keep the emotion of the scene important. He's almost like, hey, if as long as they get through the lines, I'm good. But that's how George Lucas directed too, and I don't know. But it's a different mindset from a director. I find it interesting though. I still would like to try it because I'm a huge fan of Ridley Scott. And I think it would be awesome for two actors to be able to just try things. And they don't have to worry about the fact that, oh my God, if I do something amazing and I'm not on camera, we don't get it. But when you do that, it's more like a play. And it's live and you're reacting and it's, you know what I mean? It's not about just getting the lines out for the other person. You're reacting and it's all happening and it's all there and it's all captured. That's what I want. But I'm also weirdly whatever. I'm going to have to write down the rapid movie reviews because we have some things to get to, Wraith. Okay? So we may have to write down your rapid movie reviews and do them in a bit. But welcome, Wraith. Good to see you. Goobins. I don't know about Goobins. Okay, wait. I'm going to put this down here. The creator is number 1. Okay. Or just keep them in your head. And then when it's time, we can do it. Because we still got stuff to do, man. We still got stuff to get through. I swear this is the best consistent chat group on YouTube live streams. So many rad dudes. Hey, Rufus, you're part of that too, man. You're part of that too. So, there you go. I like how these directors not only have unique perspectives on stories, but their personal methods of how it's shot. I mean, every director has that. And that's the beauty of movies. And that's why I get tired of video games. I get to where I'm like, okay, I'm all video gamed out. I never get tired of watching movies because there's always some fresh take, even in silly martial arts movies, there's cool shit that you're like, okay, that's awesome. I never thought to do that. That's a really cool, whatever. I love that stuff. But I'm also a movie nerd. And I'm sure video games can be the same way if you're into video games that way. But okay. Let's get into some of the stuff, right? Some of the stuff. Because it's already 8:10. That's crazy. First up, I want to go over first a book that I read. The Way of Kings. Brandon Sanderson. Look at this thick boy. This is a tome and a half, man. This is a huge freaking book. Let's see, how many pages? In paperback, 1,252 pages. Bucho, if you're here and you haven't read this, you need to put this on your to read list, Bucho. I think you would really enjoy this. Now, here's the funny thing. This is a slow burn because about that much of the book is set up. It's a huge, huge, huge world that Brandon Sanderson is creating. But this part of the book, I was liking it. I was fine with it. And I was living in the world, and experiencing the characters. And this is pretty cool. And then everything comes together in the best way. And this is book 1 of 10. And there's only the first 5 books are out. Okay. I've only read book 1. I don't know where it's going. All I know is this was awesome. And I loved it. And here's the thing. I'm reading the Cosmere in release order. The next book in this series isn't for like 4 or 5 books later. So it's going to be a while before I get to the next book. But damn. Like, holy McDamn. Holy crap. Great story. Loved it. I honestly, okay, you know how like a lot of times in a movie or book or whatever, where you're kind of like, does this need to be here? I don't think this needs to be here. This is extraneous extra stuff. I honestly, in that huge freaking tome of a book, I can't think of one thing that should have been taken out. It all builds in this amazing way that you don't realize until you're down here. But it was amazing, man. I read it with it took me, because I remember I did read Lou Elizondo's Imminent, the UAP guy. I read that kind of in the middle of this. There is I will say that there is a part of it where it's very, especially if you're enjoying the characters, there's a bit of a slog because it's depressing and it's hard. It's kind of hard to get through. The audiobook served me well because I read the audiobook along with reading the book. Okay. The audiobook served me well and helped me push through because, man, something happens, I would say 40% in, that makes you go, okay, what the hell is that? That's awesome. And it propels you through. And then all of a sudden it just gets better and better and better. I loved it. I loved it. Nobo Juice, welcome. There's so many pages and you got to read both sides. That'd take me a year. I read it. Let's see. I can tell you exactly. Where's my book list? There it is. Okay. I started it on December 6th. I paused on Christmas Eve and read Imminent for 6 days, finished it, and then read the rest. So it took me 18 plus 14. 18 plus 14 is 32 days. That took me a long time to get through. A lot, but it was also the holidays. And you're busy and you're not reading as much. But man, it was so worth it. And now I'm reading this. The last book in the 3-body problem. I finished this. I finished Way of Kings 2 days ago. So I'm only 2 days in to Death's End. But this is the biggest book of that series. So let's see how quickly I can get through it. But hey, gonna see how the 3-body problem ends. So I'll report back when it's over. It might not be worth it, but hopefully it will be, because I actually enjoyed the first 2 books. But again, the audiobook helped me because I think Carbonite, I don't know if he's here tonight, but Carbonite Dreams said that he started and stopped that book multiple times and still hasn't finished it because it's hard. There's not a whole lot of character work. It's mostly plot. And so there's not a whole lot to really grasp onto. So I get it. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And again, the audiobook definitely helps in that case. Now, I got 2 pickups this week. And not new ones. Used. I went to Movie Trading Company. Here's the thing. I want to do a video. For those of you who were here last week, can anyone remind me the place that I wanted to go to eat after Movie Trading Company or whatever? Because I was talking about doing a combo video. Like, I used to do hey, I'm going to Half Price Books and let's blah, 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 right? What I thought would be cool is do a Movie Trading Company or Half Price Books video, but then also get something to eat and film that and review that at the same time. Does anybody remember? Was it burgers? I think so, but I don't know. I can't remember. So, and the problem is, last week's stream was 3.5 hours, and I couldn't find it. I don't even know where we were talking about it. But anyway, I got 2 movies. Now, here's one of those things where I'm like, I kind of wish I'd waited so I could film finding these, but alas, I found them. I found them and I purchased them. First up, Jet Li's Fearless, the director's cut on Blu-ray. Now, here's the funny thing. This has been in my wish list cart on Amazon for months, and it was always 20, 25, 30 bucks. Actually, hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Be right back. Sorry about that. Sorry, but I'm back. Okay. Yeah, this has been in my cart on Amazon for months, and I want to say it was like $23, $24. And I'm like, damn. So I kept waiting for it to go down. Then it went out of stock, and you could only buy it from, used or whatever, from eBay or whatever, and it was always pretty expensive. I found this Movie Training Company, $6. $6. So yeah, I had to get it. I couldn't wait. I had to buy it. So I bought it. Awesome deal. This next one is another one that I had in my wish list for a long time, but I made a mistake. And if you're a fan of this movie, you may understand what the mistake is. But I didn't catch it. This has also been in my wish list for a very, very long time. Waited for it to go down. It never went down. It was always $21, $22, something like that. It was more expensive than I really wanted to pay for this movie. It is A Better Tomorrow. Now, can anyone tell me what's wrong with this picture? I saw it like this on the shelf, and I'm like, yeah. Pulled it out, looked at the price. $10? I'm buying it. And I did this. I saw $10. I'm like, cool. All right, let's go. Can anyone tell me what the problem is? No? I'll show you what the problem is. A Better Tomorrow, 1986. T. Lung, John Woo, right? John Woo directed, Chow Yun-fat, but there's also 2010. This is the remake. I was like, damn it. But here's the funny thing. I didn't know there was a remake of A Better Tomorrow. So now I'm thinking, $10. Oh, and by the way, it wasn't $10. It's $8 when I got it to the register. So now I'm thinking, I'll find the original, which is a lot more expensive because they only did it's more expensive. But I'll have to buy it online somewhere. But anyway, for $8, I got to own the remake. So now if I get the old one, I can do a video comparing the two. Just like I did with Infernal Affairs and The Departed. And actually, you know what's weird? That video has done really well for me. Like it's I don't know exactly where it is, but it's one of those, it's a cool video that I like doing, but also does well. So yeah. So even though I was bummed when I finally I'm actually looking at the cover now in the car, and we're driving away, and I'm going, I don't see T Lung or Chow Yun Fat. I don't. What the hell? Who are these guys? Looking on the back, and I'm like, directed by Song Hae Sung. Wasn't this directed by John Woo? And I'm like, and then what was it? Where does it say it? Executive produced by John Woo. And I'm like, oh crap. So anyway, hey, it comes with the Blu-ray and the DVD. So if I really want to go old school, I can. But hey, like I said, it turned out to be kind of a cool thing because now I can watch the original. I can watch the new one. It's fine. It's no big deal. So there you go. And those are the only two pickups that I found on the day. Now I do have a disc that is on the way. It said it was going to get here Friday, but now I don't know when it's getting here. I think they moved it to Wednesday of next week. So I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. But anyway, Wraith, BC. Oh my God, BC. Good to see you. And yeah, it is kind of like buying the new Point Break, but hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And Christian VS, I didn't see you either in here either. And of course, Carbonite. Did I say hi to Carbonite? Welcome. Okay, wait a minute. Tom Ace. I kind of want, I seriously, the whole playing sounds and stuff where, you can play it through the chat and all that, it doesn't, at least the way that Dave does it over on, the Game Dave streams over on Twitch every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Just saying. Game Dave Live, right? Anyway, the program that he uses, it's only for Twitch. Or it may be only for Twitch and YouTube, but it's only for PC. I have a Mac. I can't do that. My PC isn't tied into the stream at all. And it's freaking old. So yeah, I wouldn't want to stream from that PC anyway. Actually, I wonder if it could. That would free my... Never mind. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't work. So I would have to figure out a different way to do it. But I would love a Tom Ace. You guys pull up Tom Ace, the actual clip from the movie, or I push a button and it says Tom Ace. I kind of want to do that. Anyway, let's see. Where are we? I like how, yeah, okay, we said that. I'm the complete opposite of what Rob said about games versus movie burnout. See, that's interesting to me. That's really interesting to me because games are like, I really get into games and then I just give up. I just give up. And I'm just like, not a thing. Not a thing for me. I don't know. Weird. That would be a good warmer for someone outside. But the book? I don't know what you're talking about. I still love my video games, but I want to play something new and unique, not another COD game. That's a thing. That's a thing. That would take me forever to read because I just won't. Do you believe the 8 to 12 firsthand experience whistleblowers are really going to disclose together? Jody B, that is a great question, and I have no idea. That whole thing, after I read Lou Elizondo's book, for a couple of days, I was convinced that we were going to have a big January. So far, I mean, look, we're only halfway in. Nothing big. When it comes to UAP stuff, nothing big has happened. I mean, of course, the LA fires. And by the way, I don't know if anybody has friends or family that live in the LA area, but man, my heart goes out to anybody that has anything to do with what's going on out there. It is, I mean, I just looking at some of the footage and I'm thinking, can you imagine your home where you've lived for however many years, not just your home, but everything around you, all the landmarks, everything, places where, you took a date out to eat. History is gone, just gone. It's crazy. Now, I mean, there's a lot of political stuff that goes along with that, because everything is political these days. I mean, is it possible that yeah, it was just a perfect storm? Crazy rain at the beginning of the year, then a crazy drought, and then right about the time when the rains are supposed to start up again, the rains don't come. So everything's dried out and gross and old and all shriveled up. And then a fire starts and hold on. You forget something? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna take your cable for you. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Okay. Love you back. Sorry. Yeah. So extreme rain, crazy growth, drought, and a fire starts with crazy winds. And that, fire hydrants are there to put out, a single fire, not, oh my God, the entire city is on fire. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't want to get political about it, but it just seems like more of a perfect storm of like nobody doesn't matter what aisle that you sit on. I don't think anybody would have a good way to battle that. You know what I mean? But like I said, my heart goes out to him. There's some crazy stories about, what people have had to give up. There's people that are looting, which is just sick to me, that some guy was arrested and he had an Emmy and an Oscar in his backpack. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's messed up. That is seriously messed up. So, but anyway, when it comes to the whistleblowers and all that, I'm seriously, I've gotten to be in a wait and see, and I'm not going to spend a lot of energy looking for it because, man, I just feel like there's a lot of spinning wheels and we need to figure things out. And maybe when a certain new president comes in the office, whether you like the guy or not, we could get some answers because he's kind of all about that. But who knows? Those could have all been empty promises just to get him in the door. I don't know. All we know is right now we're kind of in a holding pattern. So I don't know. But hopefully, yeah, we'll get some answers. Greetings. Tonight, I think I saw a UFO. Christian VS. Are you on the Discord? Do you happen to have... Okay, number one, did you get footage? Yes or no? And two, if so, please post it in the Discord. And Twitter, X, whatever. And the Reddit groups. Dude, all the things. If you got footage, do it. But anyway. Did you see something in the sky you couldn't identify? If yes, then you saw a UFO. That is true. That is true. It was a white light and flew in a straight line, fast, no trail, like when you see a shooting star. Interesting. Interesting. You know what? Okay. I was going to say, did I check the disc for Fearless? Yeah, it's there. And yeah, there's proof, by the way, for the price. $7.99 and $5.99. I mean, seriously, that's still a pretty good deal, man. I don't care who you are. You might say, oh, that's too much. That movie sucks. I don't know. I haven't seen it. But I'd say it's a pretty good deal. Also, to the rest of y'all who've joined while I've been AWOL. Bucho, did you hear that you need to put The Way of Kings on your list? By the way, there's something that I watched. Does anybody watch Jacksepticeye? Am I the only guy that still really likes him? Like, I love that guy. But anyway, he was talking about how he's wanted to get back into reading, but he's got attention deficit problems. In fact, um he's like autistic. He's on the spectrum, I guess. But he said it's been something that he's always wanted to do, is get back into reading. And he heard that this book was amazing, so he wanted to read it. The problem was that's intimidating as shit. And so what he did was he started reading it. He got about 20% in and then kind of took an extended break. But then he bought it on Kindle. And he said for some reason, for his brain, it works better to read on a Kindle because down at the bottom, it gives you a percentage. And it also tells you, hey, 15 minutes left in the chapter. And you're like, I can do 15 minutes. And what ends up happening is you end up getting sucked into the story and then you stop paying attention to that stuff so much, right? Which I think is kind of a cool, it's almost a way of making it a game. And of course, holding a Kindle is easier than, I mean, seriously, it's hard to even pick up this book. You know what I mean? So something to keep in mind. And also, like I've said many, many times, listening to an audiobook while you read can be more expensive. And I say that, but here's the thing. There's libraries, which is kind of cool. You can get stuff from the library and get the audiobook and get the book or do it online and all that stuff. Anyway, all I'm saying is, yes, it's in a lot of cases, it's more expensive, but if it can help you read, I would say give it a shot if you're one of those people. So there you go. Alrighty then. Number 2, Fast Times. Okay. Haven't gotten there yet. Haven't gotten there. What sucks? Oh, it looks like a nuke when, yeah, freaking the LA stuff. Man, it's terrible. How the whole state has come together to do what they can is amazing. From feeding, donating clothes, household items, toys, anything has been incredible. I saw the Palisades fire start on Tuesday. Got back to Hollywood last Wednesday. It's like the sky was forever night. They shut down our show halfway through Wednesday, and I haven't been back since. Yeah, they had to call in the National Guard to stop looters. It's crazy. I know several people who lost everything up in Altadena. Altadena? Remember, a UFO is just a thing in the sky you can't identify. It may be something ordinary, but human visual perception is very flawed, so even ordinary things in the sky can be difficult to ID. Absolutely correct, Bucho. Drones could be just regular planes. There was a video that was actually pretty funny. It was like, look at this plane, or look at this thing, you know, and it's this bright light, and then all of a sudden it morphs into what looks like a regular plane. And I was like, have you never watched Planes on Approach before? Because that's what that was. That was a plane on approach, and it turned. What you saw was their landing lights came on, and then as it turned into a plane because it just turned to do its route around. Anyway, it's just one of those things. But hey, it was quick, 2 seconds while I was driving. Both my wife and I saw it. Yeah, and there's no way you can get footage of that. That's the thing that I think a lot of people forget, is that when you see something crazy, it may be so fast that you don't have the chance to pull out your phone and capture it. But if you happen to see something that you can capture it. But I mean, I told you when we drove by that, I told this story. When I drove by that freaking car fire, I was so enamored with, holy shit, look at that I completely forgot that I had a camera phone. Completely forgot until we were way past it. So. Let's see, wait. What am I doing? Also, especially if you're someone who's mentally primed by current UFO or drone flap. Yes, but you never know. Don't listen to Bucho, Scully. It was aliens for sure. I read Final Empire by Sanderson and liked the last 15% of the story, but was pretty underwhelmed by the rest. I'm a pretty bad prose snob, though. Okay, I can see that. No, wait a minute. Did you read all of Mistborn? Like all of it? The three books in the series? I enjoyed it. But again, I'm also like, when I can, if it's possible for me to do, in most cases, I'm listening to the audiobook as I'm reading. And it just makes it a more enjoyable experience for me. So, I don't know. Surprised they haven't done a lame remake of Fast Times. I mean, it's totally... I would not be surprised if that happens. Not be surprised at all. At all. 98% of the New Jersey drone videos were like that. Excited commentary over a video of something with FAA compliant lights. What's the Discord channel name? There you go. Carbonite pulled it up for you, Christian VS. The link is right there, and you can join it. Join it with the speed of 1,000 things that are really fast. I'm so glad they canceled the Revenge of the Nerds reboot. I didn't even know there was one. Or maybe I did and I just forgot about it. Didn't know they were thinking about No Way They Can Do Today. Oh. After finding Final Empire so meh, I had no reason to carry on with Mistborn. Wait, is that the first book in Mistborn? Okay. I did read the plot summaries for the other Mistborn books, though, like I did for the 3 Body Problems and Wheel of Times. Ass eat? So I kind of read all of Mistborn. Not really. You read the Cliff's Notes of the Cliff's Notes, is what you did. Bucho. Okay. Let's go over some of the movies that I watched this week. Because first up, The Deadly Breaking Sword. I was hoping I could do that, but it won't keep us both in focus. Anyway, so this one was more comical than most of your, like, kind of Jackie Chan-esque, with Alexander Fusheng and T. Lung. It was okay. It was okay. It was okay. But what was weird is the breaking sword thing. It's like, if your sword breaks, like almost like a razor blade, the old razor blades that would snap off, as you use them. It seems like you wouldn't have a sword for very long if you were one of those guys that just wants to get in, duels with people, right? But anyway, hey. But then Clan of the White Lotus. Now here's the thing. This is directed by Lole, right? And it stars Gordon Liu. Lole is playing the White Lotus priest, also known as Pai Mei. And you might remember, if you're a fan of Quentin Tarantino, Kill Bill Volume 2 has Gordon Liu, the hero in this movie, playing Pai Mei. It's actually pretty cool. And it's cool to see sort of like the origin of what they were kind of going for in Kill Bill, because this one was a little more comical too. And man, some ass kicking women. Kara Hui Ying Hung. She's in it. She's great. There was actually another woman that was in it that she was great. I really enjoyed that one, even though it was goofy. And there's a part, like, especially toward the end, the way that Gordon Liu, because the Gordon Liu defeats the White Lotus, right? The way that he does it is that he catches him in the middle of bathing. And so there's a part where Lole is like flying through the air, facing, with his butt, and he's jumping out, and it was kind of goofy. But anyway, I enjoyed it. Then we got the continuation of that story with Shaolin Abbot, with David Chang as a Shaolin monk. And that is Lole that came back to play Pai Mei one last time. And it was actually interesting. There's so Lole played the Pai Mei, or I think they call it Bai Mei, like Bai Mei. Anyway, he played him 3 times. So this is the third one. So Shaolin Abbot, or Abbot of Shaolin. Clan of the White Lotus was 2. And the first one was Executioners from Shaolin, which I have up there on the Shawscope Volume 1 collection. So I have all 3 of the Pai Mei movies now. But anyway, pretty good. It's fine. This one was really short, 83 minutes. And when it's over, it just credits roll. Like, and it's not even credits. If you know Shawscope, it just comes up and says, "The end, a Shawscope production." And you're like, okay, like, well, okay. that's how you end? What a weird way to end. But anyway, also on that disc, or on this thing, Shaolin Rescuers. Now, this was a Chang Cheh movie. And let's see, has Jason Pei Piao, Lu Fang, Lo Mang, Philip Kwok, Chang Sheng, Sun Chen. A lot of the guys that are in a lot of Chang Cheh movies, like the Crippled Avengers, they were all there too. I had a great time. This one, actually both of these, even though this one was kind of like this one was really good, but then this one is just stupid fun. And it made me realize, look, this is the last movie on the last disc of the Volume 3 collection of the Shaw Brothers Classics. I love them, and I can't get over it. Even though I go up and down with these, man, that one was so much fun that so yeah, I don't know if you heard, I've got Shaw Brothers Classics Volume 4, which is a Arrow collection. No, Shout collection. Arrow came out with Shawscope Volume 3 last month, which is on sale right now. By the way, Barnes & Noble has an Arrow 50% off sale if you're interested. Inglourious Bastards is sold out, so I didn't get that one. But anyway, and I haven't gotten anything on that sale yet. But it's through like February 4th, so if you're interested. But they just announced Shaw Brothers Classics Volume 6. I thought I was done at 4, and then 5 came out, and now they just announced 6. So that's a lot more movies, man. That's a lot more movies. But I look, I kind of feel like I need to watch them. I kind of feel like I need to get them, you know? I'm sorry there's no Do the Thing. I need to do a Do the Thing thing. Clan of the White Lotus. Yes. Yeah, that movie was great. It really was fun. It's goofy, but it's Gordon. Man, dude, Gordon Liu. I love Gordon Liu. I love T Lung. Fu Sheng was awesome. Alexander Fu Sheng was great. Tragically died in a car accident. I really like Lo Mang too. I think he's really great. Just awesome. If you're into the martial arts films, I mean, dude, they're freaking great. You get them. Just get them. Lay low, Lole. Yes. I'm going to put this on the TV in the living room and wind down. You guys all have a great night. I'll be watching and reading, just won't be able to comment. Love you guys. Rufus, appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. After Mistborn Book 1, I went to Wheel of Time Book 1, then started First Law Book 1, then straight to First Law Book 2. I get that. I mean, First Law is just more your thing, and that's fine. But all I can say is I'm a big Sanderson fan now. Big. This book was badass. So good. It wasn't till First Law I found a fantasy series book 1, which compelled me to dive straight into book 2. Next time that happened with fantasy series was this Dagger and Coin series. Okay. I might try your audiobook read-along trick one day, though, to get through books I'm not especially jazzed by. I can see it working for me, too. It really does. I think it really helps. But again, if you're buying, that means you're buying a physical book or a Kindle book, but then you're also buying the audiobook on top of that. That can get expensive. But if you get one or both from the library, I don't know how it is in Kiwi land, but here, a lot of these books, man, I can just get them from the library and I don't have to pay a thing. Zero. I didn't pay anything. Now, with The Way of Kings, I bought Amazon Kindle had a sale a couple of months ago. Maybe it was around Black Friday, where all of the Stormlight archive that was available, because I think book 5 just came out. The first 4 books were like $1.99 a piece. So I bought them all. And then I have an Audible thing now. So it all works out. Benny C. That who I be. Tom Ace. No. Welcome, Benny. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Also, I got to mute if you're doing Stormlight spoilers. I would never. Now, here's the thing. I can't vouch for the people in chat, other than I try to have a no spoilers policy pretty much 100% of the time, because you never know. You know, you might say, well, I could probably talk about Jaws because, it came out in 1975. It's only like 50 years old. But here's the thing. There's probably a lot of people, younger people, that have never seen it. So I try to stay away from the spoilers as much as I can on everything. So there you go. No Stormlight spoilers. I've only read The Way of Kings. I loved it, and there we go. If Carbo's still around, curious if you tried that audiobook read-along trick for the 3 body problem. Not yet. Haven't picked it up in a while. Yeah, like I said, I'm reading the third one. I'm reading the third one now. We shall see. Yeah, here in the future, we can get audiobooks and ebooks from Kiwi libraries too. Well, there you go. There was, when I went to the physical library, they actually had a thing where it was like a thing that you rent. And it basically, it's its own player. And the audiobooks and everything. And so they can switch out audiobooks whenever they want. They just take the little, I'm guessing it's like a thumb drive or something like that. They take that out and put another one in. And that way, old folks who don't know how to use electronics, they can do it with no problems. They just plug in headphones and play it. But there you go. I'm finally back. I hope I didn't miss it. KP Senti, I don't know when you left, but I hope you didn't miss it either. Whatever it is you're hoping to see. Because you never know. You never know these days. You never know. But the final movie that I watched this week, in fact, I watched it last night and then watched the commentary mere minutes. Finished the commentary mere minutes before the stream started. That's right. The definitive. I don't know about definitive. Salem's Lot. The 1979 miniseries with David Soul of Starsky and Hutch fame, but also starring, you can see, James Mason, Lance Kerwin, Bonnie Bedelia. Lance Kerwin plays Mark. And most people will probably not know who Lance Kerwin is, or Mark, but that's fine. He's really good. I think he's really good in it. And directed by Tobe Hooper of Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame. This is, in my opinion, the scariest vampire movie there is. I honestly cannot think of a vampire movie that's scarier than this. It is scary. Now, It was 1979. It was made for TV, shot on film, so it actually looks great. Like on Blu-ray, it looks great. I kind of wish it was on 4K. I think that'd be kind of cool. And before you say, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would it be in 4K? Why could you?" Seinfeld. They released Seinfeld in 4K in 4:3. So you can't tell me that something that was shot on film couldn't be transferred to 4K. I think it'd be cool. But like I said, I love that movie. David Soul is one of those actors that whenever I saw him in something, I was like, I like that guy. And he's really good in this role. I really like that movie. Bonnie Bedelia, who was John McClane's wife in the first Die Hard, Holly, Bonnie Bedelia, a young Bonnie Bedelia, and she was a cutie pie. I'm just gonna say she was a cutie pie. And James Mason, man, James Mason is amazing in this movie. I love it so much. And like I said, that is the scariest vampire. I'm sorry, it's the scariest. And you might be saying, doesn't that look like Nosferatu? That's where they got they took design cues from Nosferatu and the original Nosferatu, right? But it's good. It's good. Can't film be scanned at any resolution, basically? I mean, that's true. That's true. I love local libraries. They're amazing. They really are amazing. They're a treasure trove of stuff. Media. It's great. I saw you shoving the Game Chasers Blu-ray and DVDs on the screen. Then you bought a remake. Oh, then I bought, yeah, okay, Better Tomorrow. Yes. Then we're all good. You have the capacity to finish a movie and immediately broadcast? Insane. Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Usually prepping the stream takes anywhere from 30 minutes to, depends on how crazy the stream is. Like if there's a lot of things that we got to talk about, like a lot of things that I want to show, it can take 2.5, 3, 4 hours to prep the stream. It's possible. But today it took me about 45 minutes. I did the actually probably longer than that because I was toying with the thumbnail. I was toying with designs and I'm like, none of these designs work as well as my current thumbnail. So I just changed the colors a little bit and moved on with my life. But you have to think, when I'm prepping for the stream, it's all the stuff that I've already written down throughout the week. I'm always thinking of things that I want to do on stream. I pull up my phone, the notes app, and I go, I want to talk about that. Ooh, I want to talk about that. So all I do is sort things out, make sure it's all sorted out and ready to go. If I have physical media to show it off or pickups to show off, I make sure it's right here. That's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. But again, I've been doing this a while and I know my process. So all I have to do is make sure that I have my whatever posters, movie posters that I want to show or whatever I'm talking about, I need to have it all ready to go. But yeah, once I have it, it's nothing. It's easy. Then it's all about just getting in here and talking, which can be crazy. But I do want to talk about this trailer. Impressive. Did anybody see this trailer today that came out today? The Alto Knights, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But Robert De Niro is playing two characters. Directed by Barry Levinson, who is a really, really, I mean, look up Barry Levinson on IMDb and you'll go, oh wow, that's a lot of movies. That's a lot of great movies. There's some not so great movies, but a lot of great movies. You saw it in the, oh yeah, of course you saw it, Shozama. You posted it in the Discord. I watched it. And here's the thing. It might be really good. I'm kind of confused as to why he's playing two different characters. I don't know. Maybe the movie will work, but I was like, that's just Robert De Niro talking to Robert De Niro. I don't get it. I don't understand. And I knew this was coming, but for some reason, seeing it, I was just kind of like, but why though? So is the whole movie a gimmick, or is there a reason for that? And I guess we'll see. But there you go. The Alto Nights. I would highly recommend checking out the trailer. De Niro just needs to retire? I don't think so. I think he's a good actor. No, it's not a future self and past self. He's literally playing two distinct characters that are warring against each other. And I can't remember the names of the guys, but he's literally playing two people. And it's not a future past thing. It's okay, this mob guy and this mob guy, and they're fighting against each other. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I mean, I think De Niro's fine. But I also think that, man, some of his oh, that's not what I meant to do. Rob, you silly goose. Sorry. Yeah. It's I don't know. I don't know what it is. Real self and mental self? No. Literally two different people. So I don't know. I don't get it. Supposed to be based on a true story. I would like to look into the history. Yeah, and that's one of those things where when it is based on a true story, I know that there's who was the comedian that he did a recent joke where he's like, oh no, I think it was Nate Bargatze. Is that how you say his name? He said I'm so dumb that movies that are based on a true story, I'm going, what's gonna happen? And I'm like, yeah, but not everybody knows about every piece of history out there, you know? And that's what makes going back in history and reading some of that history really cool. Is because, yeah, you don't know what that history is. And if it's from a different country or different area of the country or whatever, there's so many ways that you can be surprised by a story if it's something that you don't know, you're not aware of. But I thought it was kind of funny because, yeah. But in this case, I don't want to know the truth, like what really happened, until after I see the movie. Because I want the movie to work as a movie. I don't want to be spoiled by me knowing what happens. It's not twin brothers, Ricky. No. Two literally different people. Good morning from India. Ranjit Kumar. Welcome. Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. And yeah, you can't handle the truth. Ricky can't handle the truth. That he's literally playing two different characters. But probably the biggest news this week, twins are different people. Yeah, but not Ricky. News-wise, this is probably one of the bigger news stories of the week. That, yeah, Ray Stevenson, man, he's one of those actors that we appreciate more now that he's gone than we did when he was here. I really liked Ray Stevenson in just about everything I've ever seen him in. Always solid. Always solid. Twins are one person triggering us all out there too. I mean, that's possible too. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I loved Ray Stevenson, and I was not the biggest fan of Ahsoka, but I think Baylan Skoll, played by Ray Stevenson, was the best part of it. Of course, Ray Stevenson unfortunately passed away like literally days before Ahsoka premiered. So it was kind of like, oh my God, okay, well, what's going to happen? You know, is he killed off in the middle of this show? What's going on? Of course, we know now, because there's a season 2, that his friend, Rory McCann, is going to be taking up the mantle for his friend Ray Stevenson. And yes, from Game of Thrones. Did you read my joke last time? I don't know. I don't know if you did. I don't know if I did. Did you say a joke? I don't remember the joke. Ranjit. I don't remember the joke. But anyway. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. Skeleton Crew. The season finale is tonight. And I gotta say, I've been enjoying it. It's had a couple of ups and downs. There's been a couple of times when I'm like, oh man, it's a little too goofy. But then it turns right around and does something awesome. And I'm like, okay. Overall, I would say that the show has won me over. I'm interested to see how it, well, like I said, the finale's out right now. I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow. So yeah, Skeleton Crew and Andor are basically the best things in a while. I didn't really care for Ahsoka. I didn't really care for Book of Boba Fett. Didn't really care for Mandalorian Season 3. And I didn't care. Wait. Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Mandalorian. What's the other one? Oh, yeah. The Acolyte. Forgot about The Acolyte. I think most people wish they forgot The Acolyte. But yeah. So, even though Ahsoka is not the best show, I really enjoyed what they were doing with Ray Stevenson's character there, Baylan Skoll. It'll be interesting to see what goes on here. Now, of course, he was also in Hot Fuzz. Yarp. That was him. Yeah, sucks Skeleton Crew isn't doing too well. I really like it. I know. The Power of Many forgot that show. Well, yeah. Ricky, are you being honest, or are you being a little trolly? The best thing they released in years. But here's the thing: even if you actually believe that, man, I wish I could feel that way. But I did not like that show. I did not like it. So anyway. You haven't seen it. Okay, so you're just being trolly. But look, there are people that loved The Acolyte. I wish I could see it, but it wasn't good to me. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Rory McCann, I think is a pretty solid actor. It'll be interesting to see how he can take up that mantle from Ray. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Number 3, Hacksaw Ridge. Okay. Hacksaw Ridge. My sports drink has acolytes. Exactly, right? You need to... Oh, Three Amigos. Okay. Well, I mean, do we even need to talk about Three Amigos? I don't know. I mean, seriously, Three Amigos is one of my favorite comedies ever. So, just saying. I see what you're doing. I don't know if we need to do those. Because Bucho's being Bucho. He's like, look at me. I can match the number in the title with the number of review. An alien. Okay, anyway. Speaking of Alien, what a great transition. Yeah. This happened. Now, I don't want to talk exactly about what they changed. Ricky, when he posted this story, he posted the spoiler. There was an alien by you? Oh no. He posted the spoiler. So this is really if you've seen Alien Romulus. Now I'm not gonna say the spoiler, okay? But if you're on the Discord, Ricky posted the story with the spoiler. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, nobody seemed to mind, but I do want to talk about it because I found it interesting. So, Alien Romulus came out in the theater. There is a scene with a character that is digital that was not great. Oh, totally a spoiler. So, yeah. Spoiler. Definitely a spoiler. But the CG character didn't look great. From the time that it was released to the time that it came out on streaming and or 4K, they changed it. They updated it. So, let's see. Does it actually have... Oh. Yeah, the spoiler is lower in the article there. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's a situation where the last time that I remember, I think one of the more, I shouldn't say the last time, but one of the more famous examples of this, at least to me, was when they did episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It was very different from theatrical release to home release. The difference is Alien Romulus only had, 60 days? So in that time, they fixed this certain character and made it look better. I have not watched it. I know it's available on Hulu right now, but there you go. I think it's interesting. They said, hey, that's just, it's not up to scratch. Let's fix that. And they did. I think that's kind of cool. Which F4 movie, The Fantastic Four or Fan Four Stick? I don't know. Actually, time in East is a few hours ahead of West. For example, here is morning, and in West, it's still night. That's true. That's true. Yeah, American Girl on TikTok was saying if Eastern people already saw the future, why don't they tell us about that? I know. And you know what? Here's the thing, Range It. Bucho is even more in the future than you are. Yeah. So really, I mean, couldn't you have let us know about the UAPs and all that stuff? Come on. Wouldn't that be interesting though? Here's the thing. I'm interested that there's outside of Europe and the US. I haven't. Oh, in Russia. Russia has seen them too. I was going to say, why aren't the UAP more... Like, why haven't we heard from, like, a bunch of different countries? But I guess we have. Anyway. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, sure, there's the number thing, but you talking about your love for Three Amigos is always a good time, whether there's a number thing leading to it or not. I mean, that's true. That is true. I'll add them to the list. How's that? And... that. Was it that bad before? I remember it being not great, but I don't know. And here's the truth. I might have been rolling my eyes so bad because I can't believe that they did what they did. So I was kind of like, why is this character even here? It irritated me. So, but I do want to bring up this for you physical media fans. If you're a fan of John Woo, you have a lot to be excited about because Golden Princess Library has been acquired by Shout Studios. So that means The Killer. That means, hey, actually, I just realized this is a Korean remake. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Better Tomorrow. I was looking for. I was looking to see if it was the same, but I don't know. So yeah, John Woo Chow Yun Fat Classics among 156 film Golden Princess library acquired by Shout Studios, which means things are going to get really expensive. I mean, it's not. I mean, for me, it's already tough to keep up with all the martial arts movies that I love. But now we gotta, I will say though, outside of The Killer, outside of because I've seen The Killer, I've seen it Better Tomorrow. What's the other one that I love? What's the other one? Didn't know his name was Golden Princess. Oh, I mean, KP Senti. It's definitely a good thing if you're a fan of physical media, because that means that these are going to be released on, 4K Blu-ray or whatever. Did I talk about George A. Romero's Resident Evil? No, I did not. I did not. What about it? I'm not a huge I saw Resident Evil and I was kind of, it's not for me. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to pull up Jean Woo and look at the movies that he did. Hard Boiled, of course. Yes, of course, Hard Boiled. Do I own Hard Boiled? I do, don't I? Don't I own Hard Boiled? I don't. I own The Killer. Why did I not ever get? I thought I got Hard Boiled. So I've seen those three. Hard Boiled, Better Tomorrow. Yeah. The complete Better Tomorrow trilogy, which I heard, the Better Tomorrow kind of goes downhill. The Chinese Ghost Story trilogy, Peace Hotel, Now You See It, Now You Don't. So look, this is good news if you're a fan of these movies, because we're gonna get Shout Studio releases. So I'm excited for this. I am excited. I think it'll be good. I'm not familiar with the movies or Shout Studios. Well, Shout Studios put out this amazing box set. There you go. Shout Studios. Shout Studios is one of the boutique. They're a boutique label, right? So there's Shout Factory and Scream Factory. They're owned by the same people. And so Shout Factory puts out all kinds of stuff. Scream Factory puts out mostly, horror flicks. But I mean, God, I have so many. I have so many. There's so many. Of course, JFK. I'm looking real quick to see. I must have them all in the back, because that is a Arrow release. That's an Arrow release. Shout Factory's awesome though. And of course I have 4 of these sets, which is, actually I have 6. Because I have the Brave Archer collection and the David Chang T. Lung collection. Because I am a T. Lung fan. But yeah, Shout does great work. Go to Shout Studios and just take a look around. You're going to see all kinds of amazing stuff. In fact, here, let's do this. Just for fun, let's do this. Let's go to Diabolic. Do you say Diabolique or Diabolic? I think it should be Diabolic because diabolical. But I don't know. So, labels. Oops. Scream Shout Factory. So here are movies that are coming out or are recently released. Oh, there we go. There's Volume 5 and Volume 6. But they're coming out with Tommy, Night of the Creeps, Forbidden World, Pumpkinhead, Winnie the Pooh 2, The Faculty, Shining Stars, The Holdovers on 4K, Far and Away in 4K, Dress to Kill 4K, Chronicles of Riddick, Ted, Rock and Roll High School, Aguirre, The Wrath of God, Bones and All. I need to see that because Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did the score for it. I still haven't seen it. Dragon. I mean, look, there's a lot. There's a lot. And there's what, 32 pages? Yeah. But see, that's what's cool about Diabolic is that it's all the labels. So then you go, okay, well, what is Arrow released? Well, go over to Arrow. These are all on sale, half off the, what do you call it? The list price or whatever. So like for example, Inglourious Bastards, if it was in stock right now at Barnes & Noble, it would be $30 for the 4K, which is pretty good for a pretty nice set. But yeah, all of these are half off at Barnes & Noble right now. There's your standard Silence of the Lambs. I just got that. I just got that. Oh yeah, I forgot. Demolition Man is out as well. Looks like Great Escape is sold out. I wonder if that one's... Let's go over to Barnes & Noble real quick. Let's see. Music and movies. Come on. Come on. There we go. 50% off Arrow Video. I'm on. Get out of here. You don't need to know where I am. 50% off 4K. So, Demolition Man 4K, $30, available online. Not in stock at my store. Damn it. Actually, there's not a whole lot in stock at my store. But there you go. I mean, that kind of gives you an idea of the pricing. So, kind of cool. Barnes & Noble right now. Barnes & Noble be pricey. I mean, you're not wrong. But Barnes & Noble regularly does Criterion half-off sales and Arrow half-off sales. Here's the thing. You're not going to get cheaper prices than for Arrow and for Criterion. There is no cheaper than when they're doing their half-off sale. You can't, I mean, you're not going to find them. Unless you get lucky and somebody on eBay is selling them for less than what they purchased it half off for from one of those sales. You're just not going to find it. Kino regularly does some amazing sales on their own site. I would highly recommend you like bookmarking their site. That's weird. KinoLorber.com. So you go to get out of here. Freaking. Let's just see what sales they have going on right now. They might not have any real good. Get out of here. World Cinema, 4K UHD. What sales? Why did you put me all the way at the bottom? Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Well, here, let's just do this. New releases. This is what they have right now. A lot of older films, but they have some really, really great ones too. Why is this not? That's weird. Is it because it's too zoomed in? There you go. Yeah, I mean, some of these you might say, no, I don't care. Like, I don't care about internal affairs on 4K, but you never know. You never know. Look at that. Rage of Honor and Pray for Death on Blu-ray. Bam. Freaking Reindeer Games coming out in 4K in just a week. But again, Kino regularly does really, really, really good sales. I've purchased many, many things from Kino. Where do I usually look online for Blu-rays? You got me intrigued now. I mean, really, diabolicdvd.com is they're probably one of the better ones. And I just take a look and see what's available. I'll go to their pre-order site. Now, I'll say this, their pre-order page, not always safe for work, because there are, there's a lot of nudity on some of these covers. So just be aware of that. But I mean, I just kind of keep up with what's coming out. You know, I just keep track of what's coming out. I put them on my little watch list. I guess it's kind of an active thing that I do. But it's also because I love movies, and I'm always reading Variety, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Joe Blow. I watch multiple different YouTubers that do movie news and stuff like that. I keep up with all that stuff. So I never really once I kind of started, it's really easy to just kind of keep the knowledge base going, you know? I'll tell you, as far as what's coming soon every week, I also watch Robert Meyer Burnett's Let's Get Physical. Showzama has made an appearance, and the last two Let's Get Physical media shows, he showed up in the live chat. He gave a super chat to Robert Meyer Burnett, which I was kind of like, oh, really? Anyway, gave a super chat to Robert Meyer Burnett, and of course, Robert Meyer Burnett read it. And then he was in the live chat recap this last video on Sunday that Dieter from Germany. And see, the thing is both of these guys, I don't know how they keep up with all this stuff. Like I bought 2 things this week. I got 2 things, right? I showed them to you. I bought these 2 movies, right? Yeah, Dieter had a stack of probably 15, 20, and that's almost every week. So you're always, if you're watching that show, you get an idea of what's coming out and all that kind of stuff, and it's fun to keep track of. But I'm also a movie dork. I also, every couple of days, I go to this site right here, the iTunes movie deals over on Blu-ray.com. So I'm watching digital as well. So right now, digital on sale this week. Return of the Living Dead for $5, Kingdom of Heaven $5, Martian $5, To Die For $5. I mean, look, there's a lot of great movies for $5, man. You know, so I keep track of all this stuff because I'm constantly looking at movie stuff. And then if you're like, oh, well, I don't buy that. Okay, well, here's Amazon for you. And you say, oh, here's all the movies on sale at Amazon. And you say, okay, I only want to see the 4K Blu-ray. So you click the 4K Blu-ray button, and there you go. Continue without supporting you because you have too many ads. But yeah, No Country for Old Men is on sale. 4K, 28 bucks. That's not bad, actually. That's only $3 more than the usual 4K price from Criterion. That's actually a pretty good deal. Transformers 1, $24 on 4K. You know? Or you say, okay, I want to see just Blu-ray. What are the deals on Blu-ray? There's that Looney Tunes collection. $36 for all 4 volumes from the Warner Archive. There's Last of Us Season 1 on Blu-ray for $16. But I mean, and you can just say all, right? That's usually what I do. So I just look at everything and just see what's on sale. You never know. I mean, I don't need to buy The Mask of Satan, but if I do, it's $26. $36 for all 4 volumes. Yes. I think I got it for $40. You feel weird buying DRM files? Well, here's the thing. I mean, I get it, but me personally, I'm kind of like, I'm, you know, who am I giving my Blu-rays to anyway? You know, if me and my wife, for some reason, I don't want to, you know, if we died in a fiery bus crash, okay, which I don't know why we're on a bus. Or did the bus hit us? Why is it on fire when it hit us? Why couldn't we avoid it? I don't know. The question is, if both my wife and I died, it'd be up to my family to figure out what. Where is it? It'd be up to my family to figure out what the hell to do with all this stuff. I forgot. I keep forgetting the camera's up there when I go to this view. So yeah, I don't know. Digital's the same way. I don't think anybody gets that. I think they just turn off my thing and they go, hey, thanks for all the money you gave me. That's pretty much it. Who's going through all my crap? I got so many books. It's nuts. Okay, you see this? This is the IKEA thing, right? So 4 things. I have 4 things full of records and LPs and 45s and stuff down here. Who's going through all that? Who's going to solve it? I don't know. You'd have to have your password shared. Yeah, but you also have to have all of your email shared. Because every now and then they make you change your password. And you have to click a link in your email to change the password. So okay, let me get caught up in chat because we're like in fact we're all caught up. The news is done. Can you go away? Thanks. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, also KP Senti. There's Diabolic DVD, there's Orbit DVD. They actually have competitive prices to Diabolic. I don't think I've actually ordered anything from Orbit, but I've gotten multiple packages from Diabolic. And what I love about them is they individually, because I don't like my stuff getting dinged. I don't like my stuff looking like crap, right? Nobody does. So they wrap each individual release in bubble wrap and then put it in a padded box. Very well packaged from Diabolic. I'm very happy with it. Sometimes you can get those some of those things that you get from Diabolic, you can get them cheaper from Amazon. I'd rather buy from Diabolic because they're just a regular, probably they're a small business, and I'd rather support the small business and keep them going than give more money to Amazon. It's not that I like super hate Amazon either. I mean, I kind of wish Jeff Bezos would, I don't know, help the world, in any way instead of just make money off the world. But hey, what is he, a cajillionaire? Whatever. I just feel like, I'm not a socialist, but I do believe that once you hit, maybe your first billion, maybe at that point you start looking outward a little bit and going, hey, maybe I don't need any more billions. Maybe I can, I don't know, make the world a better place. Just a thought. Anyway. Diabolic. Gross. Honestly, I thought it was Chow Yun Fat, not Chow Yun. It makes a difference to me. I didn't notice Chow Yun Fat versus Chow Yun Fat. Where the hyphen goes. I don't know. Eggs! I don't know what the eggs are. Bonobo Juice, I miss you, man. I miss your musk. Anyway. But yeah, man, you just don't know. After a while, I've started to realize where it's like, as soon as they announce something, I go, okay, that's going to be, like, I knew the next Shout Factory box set was going to be $140 or $150 retail. Right? From Shout Studios, if you pre-order right now, it's going to be $140 to $150. When it's on sale, it'll hover around $100, which is typically when I tend to pull the trigger. But here's the thing. I only get so much money per month because I don't know if you've noticed, YouTube doesn't pay great. So I don't bring in a whole lot of money to this, I don't bring a whole lot of cash to this household. So I get an allowance. my wife and I both get an allowance. I know that sounds weird. If you haven't heard that before, I know that probably sounds weird, but it makes a lot of sense. And you save a lot of money by not just blowing money all the time. You know what I mean? So we get a monthly allowance, and sometimes I buy stupid shit like the Shaw Brothers Classics Volume 3. Or I decide, you know what? This week I'm eating out. I'm going to Jersey Mike's. I'm having me a big ass sandwich, and that's what I'm going to have for lunch today. Or something else. Something else happens. Or, hey, Retropalooza's coming up, and I know I got to buy something from somebody. Probably ends up being something from Chief, because he's always got the coolest stuff. I don't know. So I have to save my money. So basically, I don't know when I'm going to get I might go ahead and drop the $100 for the Shawscope Volume 3 because it's on sale. I think it's only $117 normally on Amazon, but to get it for $100, that's probably pretty good. And I know that that's another weird thing is like, but you say 50% off. If it's normally like $117, why isn't it like, what is that, $59? Because it's 50% off the manufacturer's retail price, which is always higher than what stores typically sell stuff for, right? So Amazon typically sells the Shawscope Volume 3 collection for $117, but if I can get it for $100, it feels like a win. Feels like a win. So I might do that. I don't know. Faculty is underrated. I remember liking it okay, but that's not a movie that but again, I'm also a little older than what that movie's made for. Right? That's just. Did you ever travel outside of America? Ranjit, one time. I've only been outside of America one time, and that was to Canada, which barely counts. Canada is really just America's top hat. They would hate. I'm sure if you're Canadian, look, I'm joking, okay? I love Canada. I appreciate Canada. I think Canada's pretty awesome. I wish you wouldn't ban vaping products, but for the most part, I think Canada's pretty sweet. But I was in Vancouver for about 10 hours. And then I jumped on a boat and went to Alaska. That's the only time I've been out of the country. So, yeah. Now, of course, I want to go to, there's a lot of places in Europe I want to go. I would love to meet Bucho face to face, smack him on the bottom a little bit. Not too hard, not too soft. Just right. Right? I would love to do that, but I haven't yet. Tombstone. Okay. We're almost there. Ray. Let's see. Affleck. I love Affleck. I don't care what anybody says. Do you remember your best villain in movies? Yeah, it's easy. Darth Vader. Dude, come on. I'm a Star Wars fan. It's got to be Darth Vader. Darth Vader's the best villain ever. 36 for all 4 volumes. Yes. It's crazy. Jewel of the Nile and Enemy Mine digital during the stream. Jewel of the Nile is one of those. Sometimes I forget that it exists, but it is a sequel to Romancing the Stone, which is a pretty solid 80s adventure flick. Michael Douglas, Kathleen Turner, Danny DeVito. Hey, how about those snappers? Is that what he says? Hey, look at those snappers, will you? That guy. Really funny. Check out those snappers, will you? Yeah, it's just funny. Crocodiles, I think. Crocodiles? Pretty sure they're crocodiles. An Enemy Mine, dude. Dennis Quaid. Lou Gossett Jr. And one of my favorite character actors that I can never remember his name. But I like the guy. I don't care if people go, man, he's just an odd looking dude. Guess what? Brian James. Brian James is one of those guys that I just like. I've always liked him. More pictures of Brian James, please. Not pictures of... There you go. That's him. Galactica. I didn't realize he was in Battlestar Galactica. But that's him on the right. That's him. He was in The Fifth Element. He plays a really funny... Oh, yeah. And he's in Blade Runner. Heck yeah. Look at him. Look at that guy. He's an odd-looking dude, but I love that guy. I love that guy. I think he's great. But he's an enemy mine, too. Great movie. Aren't they remaking that? They're remaking Enemy Mine, I believe. You don't have to buy the Mask of Satan to grab these deals. That's true. That is absolutely true. Speed. My significant other has asked me the same question with my K-pop and music collection. I'm like, I don't know. I want to change the world is not always synonymous with I want to help the world. You know what? Bonobo Juice, that's a fantastic point. That's a fantastic point. I want to change the world for the better. For all humanity. I want to raise... See, that's the thing that I keep thinking is what's that one thing that could basically be like raising the water level and all the boats rise, right? What's the one thing that everybody could use more of? Knowledge, right? From the smartest person in the world to the dumbest, the most ignorant person in the world. Lift us up, right? What could help do that? Free energy. Here's the thing. The reason that countries develop and they become able to do things is because they're not so worried about survival. When you're starving, your focus of the day is to not starve. So if you could feed, clothe, and then educate the planet, we would rise up and the entire planet would be better off. How do you do that? Well, maybe not be so selfish. And look, I'm no better, but I'm probably more of a draw on this planet than I am a benefit at this point because I'm not working, I'm not making any money. I'm, I guess, electronically polluting, but I don't know. I like to think that every now and then I say something like that where it makes you go, that's a good point. Don't you just hate it when you order a movie, you get it and open the case and the disc is made of gum? I'm interested in how this disc is made of gum. I just go crazy some months and buy and pre-order everything. I know, dude. KP Senti, I've done it too. I do as much blowing as I want. That was really funny. Billy, if you're still here, that was really funny. That was really funny. But yeah, the allowance really helps, man. You find out what makes sense. And then you say, like seriously, mine is, ours have been the same pretty much since we got, it's gone up a little bit, but we started with, I think it was $75 a month. The two of us got $75 a month. That doesn't include gas, things that you have to do. So it doesn't include gas and it doesn't include groceries. Like if you go buy something at the grocery store, I don't have to, even though it's for me, I don't have to, that doesn't come out of my money. But yeah, so $75 is for like eating out. Not like, eating out at the restaurants, right? So eating out at a restaurant or whatever. Here's the thing. For the longest time, what was in my monthly allowance was smoking and vaping. So if I bought a carton of cigarettes, that only left me like $30 to eat. But it was a choice that I was making. And it was something that I agreed to. 20, 30 bucks, for food and whatever else. So I just barely ever bought anything. The only time I would actually like get stuff is like at Christmas and my birthday and stuff like that. But now it's gone up. I'll just say that. It's gone up from there. But I don't smoke anymore. And when I vape, so depends. Some months are really like, some months I'm like, okay, it's the second of the month and I have no money. So if I want to buy something or pre-order something, I'm going into debt to myself, basically. So yeah, it works. It works. What if you use Zip where you just pay it in 4 payments, 1 payment per week or 1 payment per 2 weeks? No, Ricky, that's credit and I don't want to do anyone credit. I'm pretty much done with credit. But I mean, hey, if it works for you. I feel like you have an epic collection from the small bits you've shared. Well, here's the thing. One of the ways that I've gotten really lucky, I mean, other than the fact that my wife pays the bills and I don't have to work right now. What ends up happening is that she'll say, I really want to buy this thing for making this. And it's really just a toy that I want to buy. And it's like $500. So she can either pay for it through her own money that she's saved up or not, whatever, go into debt, or we can both get the same amount. So we get bonuses every now and then based on basically how much we want to spend. And sometimes it's a lot. It's ridiculous sometimes. There was one where she said, I want to buy this computer. I'm like, okay. And here's the other thing. I usually get 66% of what she gets. So if she gets $100, I get $67. That's the rule. Makes sense, right? She does all the work. I still get something. I'm lucky I don't get 50% or less. But she's been very nice. So basically, you can kind of tell sometimes when I get a bonus, because all of a sudden it's like, I got this and this and this. When I got all these, it's because it was because of Christmas. I got all my Christmas money and Shout was having a sale and I said, screw it, I'm buying them. So, but hey, I gotta pee real quick. So I'll be right back. Okay. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. But basically, KP Senti, thank you for the kind words about my collection. My collection is pretty amazing. I do have, I mean, for a movie guy, I have some good stuff. I definitely have some really good stuff. I mean, I do. It's just there's no way around it. But again, it's all about choices. I don't eat out barely at all anymore, which saves a ton of money. I mean, if you can find things that you can make yourself, like my beautiful turkey sandwich. Did anybody see that turkey sandwich? Holy crap. And then, of course, I'm making acai bowls. You know, I'm cooking steaks and burgers and all kinds of stuff here. And it just saves a ton of money that way. And I've also gotten to the point where food is fuel. And if I can make it taste good, great. But sometimes it's just about getting the protein and the, the fat that I need for me to feel good, because I have Crohn's and no large intestine. And that's what happens. You have to eat high octane shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. But yes, thank you for the kind words about my collection. Game Dave does have I'll say this. I stayed with Dave one night. After that, he kicked me out. No, Billy J and I stayed with Dave when we did the trip to Philly for the Too Many Games thing that we were invited to, or that they were invited to. The Game Chasers and Dave. Anyway, where we screened the movie and all that kind of stuff. Stayed with Dave. Dave has the most insanely curated, perfect. Like, if you're into any of the stuff that he's into, it is there's no better collection of any. It's like if you said, I'm into Back to the Future. You look at his Back to the Future stuff and you go, that's the most amazing Back to the Future collection I've ever seen. But then he likes all kinds of things. He likes Batman 89 or Michael Keaton Batman. He likes the Crash Test dummies. He likes retro video games, which is insane. He likes what's that? Beetlejuice. He likes Ghostbusters. You every single one of those collections is the best collection I've ever seen. So it's just, and I took a video, and I can't show this video because I didn't get his permission to show it, but it's literally his whole collection. I just walk through with my camera because I'm like, I gotta show my wife this, because this is the most amazing collection I've ever seen. And not only that, the whole bottom floor is just, it's jaw-droppingly cool. Jaw-droppingly cool. So Game Dave puts all of us to shame. I've never seen a better collection, ever. And that includes pictures I've seen online of shit. Seriously, it's the best collection I've ever seen. Slade's movie, etc. Welcome, sir. Hey man, if you're interested, I'm making an Adult Swim style recycled animation footage Johnny Quest comedy show on my YouTube channel. I posted the first clip. Well, Slades, are you on the Discord? Because I'm sure all of us would like to see this. I'm just going to post this here. You might have already left, because that might have been 30 minutes ago for all I know. You know, with the way this show goes. But if you go in the Discord, there is a section for your own content. You can post a link to those there, and I would love to see it. Sure. And yes, Bonobo Juice, the Alaskan trip. There is no land on the left side of the boat. Biff from Back to the Future and T-1000 from T2 are my favorite villains. BC. Good choices. Yeah. Wake up. Time to die. Yes. Yes. Brian James. Yeah. KP Senti. Seriously. I don't know who all's still here. Because I'm behind in the chat. But yeah, Game Dave's collection is seriously Like, I wouldn't, his collection is so good, I wouldn't want to have it. Because he has things where I'm like, I would not want to own that. Because I would be afraid of it getting messed up. It's like, I'll tell you this. I know that Neil Gaiman has had a lot of issues. But those Sandman down here, the absolute Sandmans, I'm almost afraid to read them because they're so awesome. I mean, I'm talking about how big they are and how amazing they are. To have the kind of stuff that Dave has, it's just crazy. It's crazy. I have to do all the voice acting in my show, so I'm having a conversation with myself when I record my lines in two different voices. Slades, I have done that myself. It's pretty fun, isn't it? It's interesting. And I'll just say, if you need a voice actor, I only charge $1,000 an hour. I don't even, it's probably cheap for actual voice acting standards. But no, I mean, seriously, if you need some help, you want me to record something, I'll do it. Be fun. I posted in Dave's Discord though, except now it's probably out of date. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Vinny, what's a tortoise? What is that from? Holy crap, I'm so far behind. Okay, we need to get caught up. So, because it's five minutes till, and I still haven't done, I haven't talked about this. If you're a fan of Severance, this comes out, the season 2 comes out on Friday. Just saying, I love Severance, and Friday's going to be a big day. It could be Switch 2 day as well. I mean, Thursday could be Switch 2 day. But anyway, I was told my significant other, you know, my collection will hopefully end up in an estate sale, and I hope a parent and kid finds it and be like, whoa, this is for my child. And they buy all for $50. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. Brian James has one of the best that guy character actor faces for sure. Yes. I love Brian James. I think he's great. Another one that I really liked. Randall Tex Cobb. You've seen Raising Arizona, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes. I know I've definitely seen your collection. Yeah, it looks sick. Hack the Planet. I know. Man. Well, that's what, okay, KP Senti, you easily persuade yourself to buy everything. I'm so naughty. That's literally what I did for, I bought this, Volume 2, Volume 1, the T-Lung collection, and the Brave Archer collection, because there was a sale on Shout Factory's website, and it was like, I don't remember how, I mean, I'd have to look it up, but it was a crazy good deal. But it was still like, I want to say it was like $380 for a bunch of martial arts movies. But I was like, this is going to entertain me for a long time, weeks. It took me, I mean, look, I could probably look it up. How long it's taken me to get through these sets. It doesn't matter. All I'm trying to say is it's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey. But that's the kind, dude, I do that. And what I did is I basically went into debt. And so my monthly allowance went to the T-Lung David Jane collection. And then, this month, that's all Shaw Volume 4 or whatever. So I have like 4 credit cards, but I paid them off. Yeah, man. Staying debt free is the key. Because once you have that debt paid off and you're not worried about it anymore, and then you go, okay, wait a minute. I can have that right now. Or I can just save for 2 months and not pay interest. That's what we do. We don't have, actually we have multiple credit cards, but we pay them off every month. And it's the awards, the freaking Freedom Card, whatever the hell. Give me a minute. It's the second of the month and I have no money. Is that really a Bone Thugs and Harmony lyric? Because, yeah, that's what happens to me. Time to give the toilet its allowance. Exactly. Here's the thing. I started off, my first credit card I got when I was 19, $500 credit limit, right? That same credit card went bum, 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 and they kept, and it didn't matter if I was paying them off because I was paying them off. It still raised. And I'll tell you this. I'm pretty sure I could go just buy a car. That's stupid. There's no reason to have that much credit. And that credit card, I think we ended up closing it. But it was like a crazy limit. It's like, why do you don't need that. But there's people out there that's what they do. They live paycheck to paycheck because they got 75 credit cards. Just not doing that. I just had big purchases come up and needed to use it. Car troubles and things like that, yes. But we try to pay it off as quickly as possible. I heard LA is going through its worst days. Fire destroyed almost everything. Big loss of Hollywood as well as common people. By the way, it's really strange how most powerful country not able to control fire. Well, again, Ranjit, it's a perfect storm. I don't know anybody, any country in the world that could battle those same situations. The way that things transpired. It was crazy. I mean, there are videos of the wind was so insane. And yeah, you call the fire department. You have one building on fire. They put out the fire. But what if the whole, 4 city blocks are on fire and the wind is so strong that every time you spray water, it just blows it into mist and it doesn't make any difference. And then on top of that, the wind is, 80-mile-an-hour winds that are blowing the embers across and setting more things on fire. It's an insane situation. It's so bad. But again, I don't know enough about it. All I know is I saw the videos while it was happening and seeing that wind and going, I don't know how you stop that. I don't know how you stop it. Unless you have, literal, I don't know, retaining walls. I don't know what they call that. I think they call it fire breaks. But like Robert Meyer Burnett was 2 blocks away from the highway. And on the other side of the highway, everything was on fire. The highway was a fire break. And he was 2 blocks away from that or something like that. And it's just like, wow. Who else was it? Somebody else I watch is in. All I know is it's crazy. And sure, there's probably a billion things that could have been done, but I don't know. Those conditions were just perfect. A perfect situation. The yearly rain the year before was just insane. You had all of this brown, almost desert. It comes to life after those rains. They had crazy amount of rain, which meant incredible growth. And then the most severe drought on record, which killed all of that growth, which left tons of basically kindling ripe for getting caught on fire. And then what happens? The rains didn't come when they were supposed to. And then a fire starts, and then monsoon level winds. It's just a perfect storm. But anyway, I didn't pay the minimum. I paid no less than $100 a month on each. Not paying the minimum is smart. Yeah. Paying off your credit is man, it's a challenge. But if you can, man, yes. How far behind am I? I've got to be like super far behind. Let's see. 25% city is burnt, maybe more. It's terrible. And it's not all, stars. These are regular folks. Regular folks. And I don't care who you are. I don't care how rich you are. You lose everything in a fire. That's terrible. $150 a month alone in service charges. I was barely able to take chunks out of the card. Yep. I don't buy groceries and make stuff at home, so I only eat out. And since I don't buy groceries, it evens out. I don't think that's what that means. Especially since I'm not home that much. I mean, that I understand. Eating out because you're out and about, that's different. But when you have the choice, man, that turkey sandwich probably cost me altogether probably $1. Now, I had to buy all the components, but I can make that many sandwiches with that money. Probably $1. And it was awesome. It filled me up. So I'll eat food in my house and buy more media. I mean, it's just one of those things. Everybody makes choices, right? I make the choice to try to eat at home as much as possible, so I can have more stupid movies that I don't need. I mean, no, Bucho. It wasn't less than 2 hours from Havadan. Not at all. Metroid collection. See, this is why I want a bigger place so I can have space for more collection. Yeah. I'm almost at the point where I don't know what I'm going to do. I think what I might end up doing, seriously, is I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to have to start boxing up the DVDs again. Even though I just put them on the shelf from, my freaking shorts. To make room for the 4Ks, I'm going to have to, because I'm almost at max on this shelf right here. This is my 4K. All my 4Ks are right here. And both sides are filled up now. So it's getting dumb. And then I go and buy more Blu-rays. So yeah. There's albums I only open once and put the shrink wrap back on them because I feel like I might break it. Yeah. Holy crap, I'm almost caught up. When I was a very little kid, I remember Randall Tex Cobb and Raising Arizona scared the crap out of me. Yeah. But he's been in a lot of different movies. And he's always an interesting character. I like it. I just posted in the Discord called Quest Boys. I'll check it out later tonight. Slades. I'll check it out later tonight. And I'll DM you if that's okay. I mean, unless it's just amazing and I tell everybody. But if there's something where it's like, hey, I want to tell you about this. I want to give you some tips. Or here's the thing. Well, you've probably watched my fan edit reviews. I don't pull punches. Criticism should be kind, but it should also be helpful. And sometimes in order to be helpful, you do have to criticize. So there you go. I rewatched Raising Arizona only 3 or 4 months ago. Randall Tex Cobb is at least a third of the reason to watch that movie. Yeah. He makes such an impression with such a small amount of screen time. I just use my Amazon credit card. No interest if you pay it off in a year. Yeah. The interest is dumb. And that's where I started to learn a lesson. And then what happened was, and I don't necessarily recommend this for everybody, but I was lucky. I got really lucky. So my wife had quite a bit of debt as well. So when we got married, I inherited a lot of debt, including college, paying for college and all that stuff, college loans. So what we did is we decided, do we want to just go ahead and buy a house and then not have the money to be able to enjoy what's going on? Or should we take a little bit of a hit, move in with April's parents who have an extra room, live there for a while, pay off all of our credit cards, pay them rent to live there, but it will be a lot less than living in an apartment, but pay all of our credit cards off so that when we do buy a house, we're debt free. And that's what we did. Now, I will say that was, I loved living with April's mom and dad. The problem was he didn't really have a lot of privacy. I'll just say that. Didn't have a whole lot of privacy, so things were interesting for a while. That being said, we got this house. It was kind of amazing. It was kind of amazing that it was just like, we have this house and now we can fill it up and we don't really have to go into debt because we're making enough money that we can just pay cash. And it was awesome. So, yeah. I don't want to say for 2 months. I want it now. I mean, yeah. But that's the choice you make, right? No one can really battle it. I got so tired of sandwiches, I ate them for like 3 months straight. I've been eating them basically. Here's the thing though. Going through what I went through with all this stuff, I'm not going to go into detail. But going through all that, it changed my relationship with food. Because food is fuel. Food is just fuel. And I started to realize that I enjoyed feeling good rather than the taste of food. So if something didn't taste like if food A didn't taste as good as food B, but food A made me feel better than what food B made me feel like after I ate it, I'd eat food A every day. And I started eating it every day. So I found that turkey sandwiches, the way that I make them, not only are super freaking tasty, but they're perfect. They have the perfect everything. I get the protein. The bread is a binder. The cheese is a binder. Light mayonnaise and my honey racha that I make myself. 1 part sriracha, 2 parts honey. Put them together. Makes an awesome sauce. It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay, you want to see it? I'll show you. I'll show you my damn sandwich, and I'm proud of it. I don't care what anybody says. This is one of the best looking sandwiches. Homemade sandwiches. Yeah. And that is a potato bun from Martin's. Tell me that's not a good looking sandwich. Oh, and spinach instead of lettuce, because it's not only is it in many cases, I wouldn't say it's cheaper, but it actually has vitamins and nutrients and stuff in it. And it tastes good. Billy, to answer your question that I see there, I'll just say that it was a challenge. It was a challenge. Let's see. Yeah, you make a sandwich like that, you want it every day. And I eat it almost every day. Almost every day I'll make a sandwich. And I love them. They're great. Definitely audible. Yes. I'd eat it. Yeah. That sandwich is badass. Pass. I'll tell you, man. Any sandwich eat. Yes, Wraith. That's me right there. Any sandwich eat. Okay. Now we're all caught up. Let's go. I mean, we're going through the quick reviews. The Creator. Yes. Amazing movie. Oh, it's right there. Oh, right there. Own it in 4K. An amazing looking movie. I understand that people might think that the plot is highly derivative. Some say that the performances aren't that good. I say watch it again because I think that movie is pretty damn solid and amazing for the budget. The budget was so crazy low on the creator, and for what you get, it is a fantastically put together movie. I would say that most people will look at that movie and say, it looked good, but it was fine. But then when you take all of those other things into account, you can see why Universal said, hey, Gareth, would you mind coming over and helming our Jurassic World movie? Keep us under budget? That's probably what happened. But yeah, an amazing movie. I love it. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I've only seen this once, and it was after its time. Not only after its time, but after its time for it to make a big impact on me. I saw it when I was 20 something. I don't remember when. Is it a good movie? Yes. But it's not the classic that it would have been if I'd seen it earlier in my life, right? I didn't see it until way later. The same goes for, I know this is probably sacrilege to some people, The Breakfast Club. A lot of people love The Breakfast Club. I'm one of those where I saw it later. And while I think it's fine, it's by no means the amazing, oh my God, this is like totally, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't work for me. The movie that I think, especially of John Hughes, that I think is more important and probably a little more, I wouldn't say important, because really John Hughes movies are just, they're teenage fun movies, you know? Ferris Bueller's Day Off made more of an impact on me when I saw that than The Breakfast Club when I saw that. Now, again, I didn't see The Breakfast Club when it came out. I didn't see 16 Candles when it came out. I didn't see, what were we just talking about? Fast Times at Ridgemont High when it came out. I saw them way after they'd already been aped to death and all that stuff. That's what happens sometimes. Now, I will also say that I think I need to watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High again to watch it on its own merits. I know how to watch movies differently now. And I think it's actually, it's something that a lot of different people have said, that watching movies is a skill. You have to learn how to basically put yourself into not only the mood to take in a movie, but you also have to think about when it was made. And it helps to know how it was made, in my opinion. I love knowing how movies were made, but I think knowing how movies are made and what it takes to make a movie actually makes watching movies even better. So, I probably should watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High again. Hacksaw Ridge, fine. I mean, look, who doesn't love Andrew Garfield? Mel Gibson, say what you will about him. I don't know if you watched him on Joe Rogan, but he definitely feels like he was either on something, or he's got some sort of, I mean, he might have a touch of the tism, as some people say, right? Because he's an interesting guy. That being said, I think Hacksaw Ridge is really good, but it's a one watch for me. It's not a movie that I want to watch over and over again. Like Braveheart is a movie that I can watch over and over and over again. I haven't watched it in a long time. It feels like it's about time to watch it again. But that's a movie I can watch multiple times. Hacksaw Ridge is a movie that I go, yeah, it was good. That's good. I liked it. Apocalypto is another Mel Gibson movie where I go, yeah, it was good. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. Now moving on, you know? So there you go. Three Amigos. Oh my God. Okay. So you have three of the funniest actors of the time in a movie together. Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, Martin Short. You also have two of the funnier character actors just show up in the movie and then you don't see them again the rest of the movie. John Lovitz and Phil Hartman. Amazing. You got freaking Joe Mantegna playing their boss at the studio. You have Alfonso Arau, right? Isn't that his name? As El Guapo. I mean, come on. That movie is fantastic. Quotable. Just oh, I just love it. I love that movie. So quotable. And I know that Chevy Chase is like a huge, I mean, maybe he was always a huge dick, but man, I loved him. As an actor, I loved him. Between Three Amigos and Fletch and Foul Play with Goldie Hawn, that's a good movie too. There's probably more. I love Chevy Chase. As an actor, he seems like he's a pretty terrible human being. But yeah, man, Three Amigos is great. Is great. So many. I mean, do you know how many times, like if somebody says the word fattening, I say it like the bartender. Fattening? I say, ask my wife. I know you can't, but I say it. If she says fattening, I go fattening. Oh, no problem, amigos. Go enjoy yourselves. Don't get into too much troubles, okay? I don't even know who that actor is, but he's so memorable in that movie. So memorable. My Little Buttercup. I mean, come on. Movie's great. It's a mail plane. How do you know? Didn't you see its little balls? Come on. Spies Like Us. Holy crap. Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase. That is one of my favorite ones too. What's a dick for? To pee with. I love that movie. I love that movie. That's a great one. That's one that I need to buy. Spies Like Us is definitely one I need to buy. Anyway, let's see. Any sandwich eat. Dude, that should be on my maybe that should be the instead of do the thing, it should be any sandwich eat. I don't like greens and such. Well, Ricky, all right, but I like to live. I need the vitamins and minerals and all that stuff. And plus spinach has iron, which is really good for me because you may not know this about me, but I'm borderline anemic because of the lack of intestine that I have. I don't get iron from my food. So for a long time, I was supplementing with iron supplements because my iron was so low because I was anemic. That's just the way it was. I wasn't getting in it. So then spinach, I found spinach. Spinach is not only healthier for you than lettuce, it's got actually nutritional value and it supplements my iron enough that I don't need supplements. So I eat spinach all the time. There you go. I also love a good sandwich. I'm on the hunt to look for the best meatball sub here in New York City. You know what's funny? Meatball subs, I got really, really into them when Subway was first a thing, and I got so burned out and thinking that here's what it is. The problem is Subway makes, meh sandwiches, period. I don't know of anybody that goes, man, Subway makes the best whatever. Okay. I'm not saying that if you like Subway, you're wrong. I'm just saying that in every single case that in every single thing I've ever had at Subway, and I've had a lot because I used to eat Subway a ton, there's a better place to go to get that kind of sandwich, right? My problem is I equated meatball with Subway. So I don't try meatball subs when I see one because of that. I would love to find okay, this is a good meatball sub. I need to try that. When Shia LaBeouf played Spicoli in the reunion during the pandemic, one of my favorite moments ever in the reunion. What was the place you wanted to record to eat? Was a sandwich place or diner? And maybe, I kept thinking that it might have been that Pack-a-Pocket place because I think I talked about it. Uh, basically like a sandwich, but instead of bread, it's in a pita, and it's amazing. And I had it twice in about 3 hours the first time I had it. I ate it, left, did my last hour and a half or 2 hours of work, called up John and said, "Hey, I found a place that's awesome. Are you hungry?" He's like, "Yes." I said, "I'm coming to get you." And we ate it again, or I ate it again because it was amazing. Maybe that was the place. But I felt like it was something else. But I think maybe because we were talking about burgers and then that came up and then I thought, I need to do it. More people need to know about that place. That place is amazing. Anyway, it could have been, I don't think it was a diner. I think it might have been Pack-a-Pocket. What if you bought an electric iron? What? Today he is 33 years old. Hey! And then you got it's a sweater. Yeah. Awesome movie. Let's see what else. Point Break. Hell yeah, man. Utah. Get me too. I would have, dude. Blimpie was and is better than Subway. Oh yeah. The Universal's hand sandwich for stuffing a sandwich. What that? Fast Times reunion, they did a Zoom call with most of the actors. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Okay, Three Amigos, done. Amazing movie. I honestly have not liked a single Fantastic Four movie ever. There hasn't been one. Oh, what about the... Nope, didn't like it. I didn't actually see the last one. The one with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan, right? Was it Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm? Fant Four Stick. I did not see that because it not my thing. Yeah, Johnny Storm, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, didn't see it. I heard it was terrible, so I like, I'm not wasting my time because I didn't like the other two. In fact, I don't even know if I saw the Rise of the Silver Surfer one. But yeah, Domino's is better than Subway. True. Their little baked sandwiches aren't bad. I mean, they're not great, but they're not bad. Froda's Boy, welcome. Good to see you. In early 90s, my town had an arcade with a Blimpie in it called Fun Days, I think. I'm telling you, man, Blimpie was... And they took Blimpies out of Texas. There are no Blimpies in... As far as I know. I could be wrong. Do I need to look it up? Blimpie. 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 Come on. Blimpie. Blimpie. Is their website down? Is it even a thing? San Antonio is the nearest one? San Antonio has 3. Huh. That sucks. Because that's far away. And I'm not going to San Antonio for freaking Blimpie. I'm just not doing it. Why isn't their website coming up? Oh well. Like you said, those are probably the closest one. So, but anyway, last on the review docket, Tombstone. I mean, if you're a fan of Westerns, I kind of think you have to like Tombstone. The weird thing about Tombstone is that there are some moments and lines that are kind of odd. Just odd. Because it's like, if someone just showed you the no, if you just saw that scene, you might go, this is weird. This is not a great movie. But Then when he shows the if you are shown the uh you tell him I'm coming and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me. I mean, it's almost it's one of those scenes that's like, it's kind of like the Dumb and Dumber scene. You totally redeemed yourself, right? I mean, yes, exactly, BC. Almost a movie killer. But then the rest of the movie happens. And it's kind of awesome. So it's a weird movie because there are a couple of scenes like that. I can't remember. I mean, that one's the worst. Okay? That one's the worst. But I think there's one other scene where I go, that's odd. In Vino Veritas? Isn't that In Wine We Trust? What is that from? But it's, dude, one of the more amazing things is knowing that Ike Clanton, isn't that his name? Ike Clanton? Ike Clayton? Ike. The guy that freaking Wyatt hits with the butt of his gun. And I'm going to get you. And then that whole thing, that's freaking the main bad guy of Avatar. Is that from Tombstone? I don't remember that. I can't remember his name. I'm gonna have to pull it up. Oh, what's his name? Stephen Lang. Ike Clanton. Yeah. That guy plays Ike Clanton. I mean, that's crazy. And Don't Breathe. Quaritch. It's nuts. I can't believe that's the same guy. And then, of course, you have a really funny little role from Billy Bob Thornton. But Powers Booth? Well, bye. It's good, man. It's a good movie. His death scene done in slow-mo was odd and poorly acted. Yeah, it's not the best. But, I mean, it's Bill Paxton. It's kind of like, it's kind of hard, especially now. Yeah, smells like someone died. Freaking Michael Biehn as a bad guy? Holy crap! He was awesome. He was awesome as that. When Doc and Ringo were speaking Latin. Okay. You into any Don Bluth movies? The only one that I can really say for sure, yes, Secret of NIMH. I know there's the American Tail movies, and isn't All Dogs Go to Heaven, right? But all of those came out after I was really watching a bunch of, you know how it happens, man. You get into middle school and then into high school, and it's suddenly you're too cool for school, right? Those movies came out at that period, so I never really watched them. So I don't know them. So, what do you think of Djimon Hounsou saying he's underpaid and can't find enough roles? He is an odd actor. I should say an odd character actor. Because the thing is he's not... You would have to write a movie around him. And there are not enough movies. He's not malleable enough to just go, yeah, I can see Djimon playing this role. I love Djimon Hounsou. But it kind of sucks because he's really, we need an actor that can play this. He can play this many roles, and there's just not enough roles for a guy like him. it's just, it's a weird, he's in a weird situation. You know? He finds himself in very small supporting roles, which don't really, especially for a working actor, it's hard to pay the bills on those. But again, I love the guy. I just don't think, if anybody's saying that it's a racist thing, I don't think it's that. It's just that his whole package as an actor isn't easily, we're going to put him in this movie. It doesn't always work. So, yeah. Not a leading man. Yeah. Yeah. That's really it. I don't know about your generation. I stayed watching all the movies in high school. Hell, we watched them at school. Yeah, we didn't. It. See, here's the thing. We got to the point where it was like, oh, I got to shed all the things, and this is a mistake, but it was like, I got to shed all the things that I used to like because now I'm in high school, and I just like pussy now, and it's just like, there's room for both, sometimes no, I'm just kidding. But I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, that's that attitude, that stupid, it's not even a jock attitude, because I wasn't a jock, but it was still, even in band, it was like, I don't really want to play video games with you. That's cheesy and dorky. But then I'd be like, man, I really kind of wish I kind of missed those, And then I played Super Nintendo and stuff on the weekends. But anyway, what I'm saying is, it was a different time. And there was a lot of things that I missed out on because I was like, and I'm like, I don't understand how I got anything done, because no one could understand what I was saying. Let's see. What else? He needs to blame his agent, not who he did blame. I didn't read the whole article. I just was like, yeah, that sucks. Yeah. Not a box office draw like Pitt or Sam Jackson or DiCaprio. Yep. Speaking of Westerns, have you seen Silverado? Yes, I have. A few people have recommended it, and you haven't watched it yet. I'm assuming, because why would you say it that way? Yes, I have seen it. Yeah, Scott Glenn, Kevin Kline really surprised me in that. Kevin Costner's first role, totally worth watching. Written by Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, totally. You should totally watch it. Give it a shot. It's good. It's good. It's really good. You should watch it. And if you don't like it, I mean, it kind of has a mid 80s feel to it, but it also feels sort of timeless, but with an 80s touch. So, but I liked it. And Kevin Kline, man, I just like him. I like Scott Glenn too. Yes, right. Then that's, yeah. I don't agree with that. I grew up with cats, so I didn't go looking for them in high school. 100% right. That's a mistake. Oh, yeah. It was totally a mistake. Yeah. Silverado's totally, you should watch it. Totally. I put it off for a long time. And I remember when I first started watching it, the first time I tried to, I watched like the first 10 minutes and I'm like, this is not hitting for me right now. And I'd rather watch something else. So I skipped it for literally years. And then I watched it not too long ago because it was streaming on something. And I'm like, oh, finally, I'm going to watch this movie. I love Kevin Costner. I need to give this a shot. And I really enjoyed it. It's really funny seeing Kevin Costner in the role that he's in, because he's not a hero. He's kind of a goofball, and it's kind of cool. Heat. I mean, come on. Do I need to review Heat? Isn't that one of my favorite movies? I can't remember. Did I do a review of that? I think I did. Yeah, I'm going to be one of those dicks that goes, I did a review on that. Go watch the review. Yeah, I did. Just saying, I did a review on it, and it only got 236 views, so you probably didn't see it. But yeah, Heat is fantastic. In fact, it's probably, in my opinion, that is peak Al Pacino post Godfather. I don't think he was better before or after. Even though she's got a great ass, right? That's that's not a great point in the movie. But overall, I think it's his peak performance after Godfather, for sure. Favorite De Niro performance. I think De Niro is fantastic. Might be my favorite Val Kilmer performance, even though I love Top Secret. And if you haven't seen Top Secret, which is Airplane, you know, the movie Airplane comedy, Top Secret is for spy movies. Kind of, a little bit older spy movies. It's still awesome. And Val Kilmer plays a singer, and they're just, seriously, just watch it, okay? If you haven't seen Top Secret, seek it out. Watch it. I love that movie. But I think it might be my favorite Val Kilmer performance. Tom Sizemore's great. Freaking Wangro's a dick. But it's good. It's really good. An early, not first, but early Natalie Portman performance. It's great. It's great. Kicking that TV out of the car always gets me. By the way, I did read Heat 2. I think we talked about it on stream before, but if you haven't read, if you're not a reader, I get it. But Heat 2 is actually pretty damn good. And it's going to be really interesting to see, because apparently Michael Mann wants to make it a movie. It's going to be really interesting because I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be really interesting. Tom Sizemore is great in everything he was in, pretty much. He was a character actor that definitely had that stuff. I gotta go. What am I doing? I can't believe you guys let me go on so long. But yeah, look, I love it. I love Heat. It is definitely my favorite Michael Mann movie. I mean, you got Thief, which I only saw recently. Manhunter, which I only saw recently. It's great stuff. Yeah, that damn Wingro. But I love Heat. It's in my top, definitely my top 20, maybe in my top 10. I've never done a definitive top 10 because I was thinking about it and I'm like, is Ridley Scott the only director with at least two movies in my top 10? Because Alien and Blade Runner have to be up there. Have to be. But I don't know. I have to really think about it. Yeah, stop. I got to go. Yes. I got to go. But look, hey, you. Yeah, you. I mean, not you so much, but you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I love talking with you guys. This is one of my favorite things to do of the week. Me? No. DB Cooper versus Bigfoot is not on there, Billy. No. But yeah, seriously, I appreciate you guys being here. I love doing this show. It is literally my favorite thing to do. That I do on this channel. I love doing the shorts. I love doing going to a new movie I've never seen before, like this week with Wolfman. Yeah, I'm gonna go see it. I put it on my list that I'm anticipating it, so I'm going to see it. Yeah, I'm going to see Wolfman. But yeah, I love doing reviews, but man, it's one of my favorite things to do. So you guys have a great week. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.